team of fantasy football experts now more than ever. Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87, and on the Sirius XM app, where fantasy football championships are won.
Of goals, and VAR, as I've been saying for 5.5 years, has robbed the game of common sense, sadly.
You're listening to Premier League Live with TalkSport.
Inside the area, and he fires it low into the centre of the goal.
We've got every kick of every game from the world's biggest and best football league.
With the outside of his right foot, he found the corner.
The goals, the drama, the excitement, the despair.
Off the right, left foot, top corner, left foot in turning effort. Oh, what a beautiful goal!
It's all here on Premier League Live with TalkSport.
You are listening to TalkSport's coverage of Arsenal against Manchester United from the Emirates. I'm your commentator, Toby Gillis. Alongside me, the former Man United and England defender, it's Paul Barker. This is Premier League Live. Well, to give you an idea of the gulf between these two, when they last met in May, Arsenal won 1-0 at Old Trafford. It set records for both. For the Gunners, their 27th win of the campaign. At the time, the most they'd ever won in a 38-game season. They actually made it 28 on the final day. For United, a 19th loss of the campaign across all competitions. That was a low not matched since 1978. That gap should not be surmountable in just 7 months, and this should therefore be a home win. And yet, a lot has changed, of course. Not just the management at United, but also the sense of infallibility about the Gunners. The electric form does appear back, but it might take a few more weeks for opponents to have that fear once again. A year ago, Arsenal were top, 5 points better off. Tonight, a 9-point gap to the leaders and only above Chelsea on alphabetical order. Arsenal's 500th game at the Emirates, given that, combined with their title ambitions, could barely be more important. Under Ruben Amorim, things do appear to be looking up for Manchester United, but have they been tested? I think it's fair to say that in Ipswich, Bodo Glimt and Everton, the answer is no. That changes tonight. But there is a boost for them to an extent in the form of Arsenal's team news. We knew there was a doubt about Gabriel, but there is a surprise second absentee from the team that beat West Ham at the weekend 5-2. Ricardo Calafiori is out as well. So 2 changes. Jakub Kiwior comes in at the heart of defence. Alexander Zinchenko is on the left. Arguably, though, the selection by Amorim is the biggest shock of the night. 2 players suspended. We knew about the fact that they would not have Lisandro Martinez and Kobbie Mainoo. Both picked up 5th yellow cards of the season against Everton. But listen to the rest of the 4 that drop out. Marcus Rashford, Joshua Zirkzee, both scorers of a brace at the weekend. Amad Diallo, probably their player of the season so far, and Casemiro, all on the bench today. In come Harry Maguire, Tyrell Malacia for his first Premier League start in 550 days. He's played 70 minutes in that time and he's up against Bukayo Saka. Manuel Ugarte, Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund and Alejandro Garnacho are the rest of those coming in. So the team's in full for Arsenal. David Raya, then it's Jurrien Timber, William Saliba, Jakub Kiwior and Alexander Zinchenko. Captain Martin Odegaard, Thomas Partey and Declan Rice in midfield. Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz and Gabriel Martinelli are the front 3. For United, Andre Onana is the goalkeeper. The back 3, Nusayr Mazraoui, Matthijs de Ligt and Harry Maguire. Diogo Dalot, Manuel Ugarte, Bruno Fernandes, Tyrell Malacia, Alejandro Garnacho and Mason Mount supporting Rasmus Højlund up top. So an extraordinary set of team news for both sides, to be honest with you. Let's bring in Paul Parker, the former Man United defender who is alongside me. Very good evening, Paul. This is always a huge fixture, despite the relative frailties, certainly of Man United, compared to some of the time during the Premier League era. And yet tonight, really the news is all about the decisions by Ruben Amorim. No Amad, who I know you love, but everyone's loved recently. No Rashford, who's scored in both league games so far. He's let Casemiro go. He's dropped Xerxes, who scored a double at the weekend. Huge calls from a manager. And the United fans, particularly with the Ahmad and Rashford decisions today, I would have thought will not be happy if it doesn't work.
No, they mostly won't do. Won't be, I should say. But they'll look at it as that he's still looking at people. And I think you can say, as it was said to me, and I had to kind of think about it and agree, this game by a lot of people will be seen as one that Man United weren't going to win a few weeks back.
Yeah.
The new manager has given maybe a little bit more hope, but still even then you would expect Arsenal to win this game. So that's maybe what he's looking at, and the reason why he's gone down that line to make those changes. Because I have to say, Ahmad and Casemiro being out have been two of the best players since the second of Ten Hag, consistent-wise. They've been maybe the best two. Ugarte has come in and done really well and been different since the new managers come in. I look at, when you talk about Rashford being out, a lot of people say, yes, he scored 2 goals, but he's actually, you look at his game has been poor. Ipswich he scored, disappeared after the goal.
Yeah, he did.
Scored 2 goals at the weekend, but was poor. Build-up play.
Goals are everything,
Yeah,
aren't
yeah,
they?
goals.
If he's in goal-scoring form.
Remember, you're talking to me, by the way.
Sure.
Me, you know what I'm like. I'm cynical about it, and yes, goals are great. Maybe people say I'm a bitter and twisted defender, but ex-defender, I should say. But I just like the fact of you've got to have more to your game than just scoring goals. And his build-up plays poor. The reason why he scored his goals is because he's had people set him up for him. To be perfectly honest, the second one, Diallo, couldn't have put it in a better area for him. So he isn't doing enough off the ball with his build-up play, his touch, his passing, his decisions has been poor. Xerxes has scored 2. His game was poor. People still don't know where he's going to play. So he's put Mason Mount starting in a different position in that role, and to be honest,
It's where he starred for Chelsea, though, isn't it, under Conte?
yeah, but it's just but again, it was a different style of play. Yes, it was a 3 at the back as well, wasn't it? But it's a different style of play, and every time he has started, he hasn't done himself any justice, Mason Mount.
No.
So he needs to do something in this game, and with Garnacho there as well, he's still got to prove himself, because he's got to understand that you can't play football on your own. It's not a game of golf or tennis. You have to play with people around you to make you look good, and then for you to make them look good as well.
So that's the headline team news for Man United. I mean, similarly for Arsenal, there is an argument to say, isn't there, that Gabriel and Saliba is the best centre-back partnership in the league. Ricardo Calafiori has been outstanding at left-back for them. United will think to themselves, whatever team they've put out, those are 2 absolute mainstays of that outstanding Arsenal defence. That is a boost to them when they've seen that team sheet tonight.
I don't really think so in that sense. I mean, because Arsenal were doing well, all of a sudden they've got to have the best centre-half partnership in the league, in Europe. I mean, the same happened with Liverpool. They kept talking about they were the best partnership. And at the end of it, no, they're not. They're just a partnership that's going well at any given time. They haven't had the amount of games behind them to label them in that way. So you look at it, and the players coming in have got a lot behind them as well. The game was always going to be difficult for Manchester United, whoever they put out. Arsenal spent a lot of money on a very, very good squad, without a shadow of doubt, a far better squad than what Manchester United have got, and they've gone and spent more money.
Yeah.
And you can't say Arsenal have done it. Arsenal have spent a good money. They've invested a lot in Arteta to get this together. So delivery is so important for Arteta. He has to give them silverware, and I don't just mean a FA Cup or a League Cup.
In his first year.
He has to win something important this season just to cover everything they've done and be.
Podcast and expect to bring it to you shortly.
What's up?
The back of the two managers as well, that was a difference.
Yeah, the longevity of manager. Arsenal beginning to get that again now. Could Ruben Amorim really kickstart his Premier League tenure tonight? 500th game at the Emirates this evening. Arsenal against Man United on Premier League Live.
One game remains in the quest for the MLS Cup, and it's on Sirius XM.
What's up, soccer fans? Thanks for hanging out with us today for Manchester United visiting Arsenal. A clash of the Titans here on Sons of a Pitch Soccer Central. Please take a second and hit that like button down below as well. Please share this link out. Let's get more soccer fans here hanging out with us, having a good time on Sons of a Pitch Soccer Central. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell because we're going to be live for every single Manchester United game of the season, and we're going to be doing a lot more EAFC content as well. So if you're a big EAFC player, let us know in the chat, and we'll see you guys in there. True's going to give you a little bit of a preview here. Let's have some fun in the chat and keep it classy. Go Manchester United, go. Let's get the result today.
How's it going on, SOP fans and my fellow Manchester United fans? Now tonight we have a massive game, and that's because we are taking on Arsenal. It's definitely going to be a challenge. In my opinion, I'd definitely take a draw if I was asked right now, but hopefully we can get the 3 points. Now the lineup is a bit concerning. It's concerning me because the lineup consists of players like Malacia and Harry Maguire. There's no Marcus Rashford in there as well, so it is a bit concerning from the new manager. However, I do trust the manager and his tactics and the process. This isn't going to be a fast-paced thing where we're going to just play under flying colours with this manager. It's going to be a process where we have to build on it. So hopefully we can get these 3 points. Let's go United, come on!
The human we're protecting just got his flu shot. That means all of us antibodies have strong new gear that will help us fight and defend against the flu. We must win so that our human can stay healthy and help protect the people he cares about most.
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect yourself and others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient, from Lucky Larry's Landscaping, Larry! Larry saved his business money with a quick commercial auto quote from Progressive. Does it help he's his own marketing manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
What an extraordinary night in the UEFA Champions League.
This is WTF when Nolda talks football.
UEFA wanted to see more games so that they could make more money. The format has changed, and I got the ability to watch more soccer. I used to do the Champions League. I was the host of the Champions League. I was an analyst. I love being the consumer of this competition. I love watching and observing how this all unfolds. I like it a lot.
When Nolda talks football, weekdays at 4 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC 157.
You are listening to TalkSport's coverage of Arsenal against Manchester United from the Emirates. I'm Toby Gillis, your matchday commentator, with Paul Parker, former Man United defender, alongside me. This is Premier League Live. Let's remind you of the team news. Arsenal make 4 changes from the win over West Ham. Gabriel and Ricardo Calafiori injured. Jorginho and Leandro Trossard also dropping onto the substitutes bench. Jakub Kiwior, Alexander Zinchenko, Thomas Partey and Gabriel Martinelli all start for them. For Manchester United, they make 6 changes from the team that played Everton at the weekend. The 6 that drop out, 4 of them onto the bench: Marcus Rashford, Joshua Zirkzee, Amad Diallo and Casemiro. Lisandro Martinez and Kobbie Mainoo are both suspended. So those that are coming in: Harry Maguire, Tyrell Malacia, Manuel Ugarte, Mason Mount, Rasmus Højlund, Alejandro Garnacho. The team in full then: Arsenal, David Raya in goal, Jurrien Timber, William Saliba, Jakub Kiwior, Alexander Zinchenko, Martin Ødegaard, Thomas Partey and Declan Rice the midfielders, as Mikel Arteta and Ruben Amorim share an extremely warm embrace. Bukayo Saka is right, Gabriel Martinelli left and Kai Havertz down the middle. Manchester United, the 3-4-2-1. Onana is the goalkeeper, Nusem Mazraoui, Matthijs de Ligt, Harry Maguire, Diogo Dalot, Manuel Ugarte, captain Bruno Fernandes and then Tyrell Malacia, with Alejandro Garnacho and Mason Mount supporting Rasmus Højlund up top. It will be Højlund and Mount in Manchester United's change dark blue strip getting us underway this evening. Arsenal in their red jerseys, white shorts and red socks. Our referee this evening, Sam Barrett, is readying the two sets of players, ensuring that everybody is good to go. And this is always a mega clash. A big battle of two Titanic clubs, and Manchester United, defending the goal away to our right, have got us underway, immediately playing it to Nusem Mazraoui, who's on the left side of the back three, with Harry Maguire down the middle, and out on the right-hand side is Matthijs de Ligt. And immediately it is Mazraoui who heads away. Saliba tries to head it down. Mount gets in the way of it. It's a bit loopy and in the air at the moment. Can Arsenal bring it down through Ødegaard to Saka? He can. Saka's pass, though, taken away by Garnacho. Lovely touch, and Bruno Fernandes will come off down the left-hand side. Leaves it for Garnacho. Midpoint of the Arsenal half, takes the ball out of play with a little trick that did not come off as he tried to turn away from his marker, and Arsenal have the throw-in on the right-hand side. But already, Ruben Amorim not just tinkering with his team selection, Paul, but actually with the makeup of the defence by switching Mazraoui to the left when he's been arguably, along perhaps with Ahmad, their most consistent player under him.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. That is, to be perfectly honest, Toby. And it is a big change, but I think he's gone that side maybe because of Saka.
It's all about Saka.
Because he couldn't have Harry Maguire.
And he's going to have to protect Malacia, who will, after 550 days and only 70 minutes, and the first Premier League appearance since May 2023, he's going to find it hard tonight against a player that before this game, Mikel Arteta tipped to potentially start delivering Cristiano Ronaldo numbers one day.
Well, I think Arteta's gone a little bit mad on that one, to be perfectly honest. But yes, he's a player who's deemed as been playing well, one of the best players in Europe. And Malacia, I saw him play in an under 23 game. I saw him play. So and then he started the game just recently, and he struggled a bit, to be perfectly honest. So it is going to be a test for him, the game of this magnitude.
Just at this moment in time, Declan Rice has dropped rather deep, and Zinchenko has ended up in midfield, but I think that is only temporary, it is. And here is the man who's technically the right back, Jurriën Timber, coming back to David Raya. And Arsenal, who have won the last 3 meetings between these two sides, never in their history have they won 4 consecutive league games against Manchester United, who have got Mount on the right of the two attacking players behind Højlund, and Arsenal are playing patiently through the midfield via Zinchenko. Now he spreads it out towards Saka. Malacia heads it into the midfield. It could have gone anywhere. Mazraoui was there. Bruno Fernandes lost out to Havertz, though. Half-hearted appeal for a free kick. Then he gets stuck into Ødegaard, and Manchester United have it back with Harry Maguire. So many of these players have not played an awful lot of football recently, this being the main one. Tyrell Malacia tight to the left-hand touchline for Manchester United, just short of the halfway line. Maguire, De Ligt to the right now for Manchester United, and Dalot. Back they come to Onana. 2017, the last time Manchester United won at Arsenal. As the ball gets played forward, there's got to be an offside flag as it's put into the back of the net by Martinelli. He was a long, long way offside, Havertz, but Manchester United really the architects of their own downfall there, and are very, very fortunate that Havertz was offside.
Yes, and the goalkeeper overplaying, touch wasn't good, ends up trying to play your ball out wide into a right back area, gets cut out, and he's very, very fortunate that Martinelli never ran out the way of it, really. Should have ran up, stayed in there, and he made it easy to play offside.
Ball away by Mazraoui. Saliba slightly loose, won by Ugarte to Mount. Now out to the right-hand side, and they'll come forward with Dalot. No real pressure on him from Arsenal players, but he's not going at pace. Not quite the sort of Ahmad style of full-back or wing-back in that position for Manchester United. And you do wonder with Malacia and Dalot whether this does end up being more of a 5 than it does the 3 at times this evening.
Well, I think there's every chance to go that way, because we are not so much with Dalot, but definitely with Malacia. He is a full-back. It's as simple as that. So he's more prone to be sitting there closer, maybe more in line with the centre half than what he would be being pushing on and becoming the extra player in midfield.
Mazraoui Comes back to his goalkeeper. It'll be a left-footed clearance from Onana. Boom towards halfway. It is Højlund trying to occupy Kivior, and he does so just well enough. It was Rice actually behind him. He nodded it down to Mount, who gets caught by Thomas Partey. Nearly 5 minutes gone. It is Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. And this is my opportunity to ask you to join us during the conversation on X at TalkSport Live. And we'd absolutely love to hear from you with your predictions and your thoughts on this game, on the progress that Manchester United are making under Ruben Amorim, and of course on Arsenal's title chances, with Liverpool, bear in mind at this moment in time, losing at Newcastle. Dalot comes down the right-hand side, cuts back behind Zinchenko, gets some support in the shape of Ugarte. Now De Ligt, they're passing it backwards and sideways at the moment. Maguire to Mazraoui, now a bit further forward, tight to the left again is Malacia. Infield to Garnacho. United with a spell of sustained possession. Arsenal with 11 men pretty much in their defensive third behind the ball. Can United play through them? De Ligt gets it back from Dalot. Sorry, Paul.
No, I was just going to say, you have to say is that United are playing into Arsenal's hands because they're slowing the game down and they're making so many passes
and
square.
they've made the error through Bruno Fernandes that gets caught out. To his opposite number, Ødegaard. On the left-hand side, here is Havertz. Forced back this time to Zinchenko. Some of the arguably more fringe players on show for both sides tonight. Timber comes back to Saliba, and here outside of his box is the goalkeeper David Raya. No real goalmouth action for either side so far. And then it remains Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. Just that disallowed goal that was never going to be anything but. No VAR needed for that one. And the ball is with Kivior. Saliba. Ødegaard just sprints it to the right. And Timber running at pace down the right-hand side. Gets away from Garnacho. Square ball infield for Havertz. Bukayo Saka quiet in the first 7 minutes. Just to advance to the halfway line. Infield to Ødegaard. Now they'll work it to the left-hand side. And has Martinelli got the run on Dalot? Oh, Dalot's just allowed the ball to run off the turf, bounce up, and it just hit his thigh and goes behind for the corner. A bit of an unnecessary set piece for Manchester United to give away here. Arsenal's first corner of the game. Well, forward will come Timber and Saliba.
Given Arsenal's record from dead balls, from corner kicks, had a poor one there from Dalot. Common sense would have said to him to get to the ball, get it, get some form of control in it, at least pull it out for a throw-in, not allow the corner.
I mean, he certainly could have done that, couldn't he? There was time, there was space.
Well, they've done this. They kept doing this at West Ham.
Overloading the back post.
Yeah, and they make their runs from there. And the first goal come from the fact of Gabriel just coming round the outside and having an easy header, chest high.
Here comes the delivery from over on the far side. And oh, it found Partey, and that's a chance, and he's miscued. He's got it completely wrong at the near post. Mikel Arteta can't believe it. I'm not sure many of us can, Paul Parker, but that's a great opportunity for Thomas Partey, who was, 3 yards out when it got to him. De Ligt wrong side. It actually hits his shoulder and goes wide.
Yeah, that is a bad miss from Partey, to be honest. I think it slightly comes off of De Ligt's head onto Partey, and he can't believe it. I mean, it was just incredible how he missed it. And there was a block on the keeper, which he wasn't aware of, the keeper.
Yeah, that is a real shock. And Manchester United are let off as Bruno Fernandes works it to the left for Malacia. Good pace by Malacia, you know. Højlund's pointing to where he wants it, left side of the box. Has he got some support? Not at this moment in time. Malacia tried to make an option for him. Instead, it's to Garnacho. Tracked all the way by Bukayo Saka. Garnacho. The Argentine comes back to Mazraoui. Fernandes, Manchester United back towards halfway now. So far, they've proven they can get somewhere within touching distance of the Arsenal 18-yard box without really putting it into any dangerous an area.
The one thing they need to do is actually turn them around, give Højlund a run, pull it in behind them early. But they're not doing it. They're actually coming back and causing themselves more problem. There's the ball in behind.
There's the ball towards Højlund, and it's watched carefully and brilliantly by Saliba, who was very, very on it there with the bouncing ball. And Zinchenko now gives it to Declan Rice. It's interesting to see that he seems to have less licence to get forward today. Normally he's in that position, isn't he, high on the left when Arsenal are in possession, but just at the moment he's being a bit more disciplined than that, as Timber is under some pressure by Garnacho. Now he uses Saliba back in between the two of them to give it to Timber once more. Bruno Fernandes leads the press, and they come back to Raya. Partey, again the press is there from Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United certainly trying to do that in a way that perhaps we didn't see under Erik ten Hag, despite all of his suggestions otherwise. Ødegaard steps away from Bruno Fernandes. The two number 8s, the two captains for Arsenal and Manchester United tonight in direct opposition. Is anything that you've seen so far suggested Bruno Fernandes can do the sort of disciplined number 8 role that so many have questioned? I'll ask you that in a moment as Saka attacks down the right. There's the left-footed cross towards the back post, and the header back by Dalot actually hit Martinelli, bounced kindly for Ugarte, who clears up to Højlund. He gets his head to it. Saliba then looks like he's pulled him down, but Garnacho will come away with it. Mount picks up the loose ball. Garnacho couldn't quite get it out of his feet, with Mount making the dart across the, or behind the Arsenal defence, and United just bring it back under control. Bruno Fernandes, Paul.
Well, I mean, yes, he can do it, but can he do it consistently? I would say at this moment in time, have to say no. It's just not there with him.
He's a floater, isn't he? He loves to have that free roll.
He does, and he just wants to get involved, but that's the thing. I don't think the manager wants that.
I mean, his United career won't be for long if he can't do it, will it? No. I don't think there's any doubt. Amorim is the man they're going to have to back now, and a bit like the old Ronaldo Ten Hag thing. You know, I'm not suggesting Fernandes will have a disciplinary issue, but if he's not right, then he's going to have to make a bold call on a big player.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Arguably the same for Rashford.
Yeah, that's the problem. I think he's a bigger problem, because I can't think of a position that suits him.
No,
to be perfectly honest.
No, well, there's a good few at the club that you'd question that about. Here's Mazraoui. I mean, some would say the same about Garnacho. Højlund manages to get it to Mount. Was Mount caught there by Zinchenko? No. Zinchenko with a rather high, almost karate kick style tackle. But he's got the ball and he's worked it over to the far side where Rice has picked it up.
I'm trying to figure out if I've seen the foul yet. There hasn't.
No, not sure there's been many.
There hasn't been anything at the moment involving a referee.
Ball up towards Saka on that right hand side, high up, tries to turn away from Malacia, back onto his left foot. Needs some support, gets it in the shape of Ødegaard. It's beyond him to Timber. Timber to the left-hand side. Zinchenko, there's the cross. Good cross as well, but Saka didn't make the dart. Malacia just tracked it to ensure it went behind. 12.5 minutes gone. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0.
At the moment, there's nothing to suggest that any team should be in front at the moment. There was a ball from Saka that come from a wide area, which was defended well in the end at the far post, I think, by Ugarte. And then all there was really was the corner where Partey should have scored.
Yes, he really should.
Should have scored, and that's all it's been. United haven't offered anything in the attacking third at the moment. Every bit of play they've done has got them to the tip of the attacking third, but with no edge to actually go in there and go and do something. Just trying to dip their toe in, but actually not even doing that.
Andre Onana's clearance doesn't beat the first man from the goal kick. Ødegaard, it will still come towards De Ligt. De Ligt heads it down, forward, volleyed pass by Bruno Fernandes. It's a bouncing ball for Højlund to hold on to. He's done brilliantly to try and find Mount. It was a back heel in the end. He held it up well, but Zinchenko was across to pick up. The clearance by Raya, though, is only at Mazraoui. Bruno Fernandes will pick up on this left-hand side, wearing the rainbow armband, which has been an element of controversy, it's fair to say, over the course of the last few days, actually including Manchester United, whose players were initially going to wear rainbow training kit before this game in the warm-up, and then, because of some religious beliefs, changed their minds. Whether you think that is controversial or not, I shall leave for you. Mazraoui has it, just inside his own half, and booms it into that channel to the left for Malacia. Saka has come back into the right-back position to track him. Uses Garnacho.
And that's what you need, though. You need Malacia to take Saka away from...
Yeah, and he's offering that. It's a nice ball up to Garnacho in the box left-hand side. Is he onside so far? Yes. Timber with him. Garnacho tries the cross, comes off of Timber. Does it last? It is a Manchester United ball.
Yeah, so if he keeps making those runs beyond him, Saka in the end is not really going to want to push on because he's got to do his job to help out Timber, because Timber could be 2 against 1.
But the question is, after 19 months away, how long can he do that for? I mean, I don't know if you ever had an injury quite that long, but if you did, how long does it take to get back to being able to run up and down a touchline like this?
Well, it's going to come to a point where he's going to feel it, and that might be the moment. It could be you will feel it. It's human nature to feel it, no doubt.
I mean, the amount of running that fullbacks and wingbacks do in this game anyway, they all feel it nowadays, however many games in a row you've played. So if he does a half of this energy, it'd be amazing. Poor pass that by Højlund, but good block by Ugarte, although he couldn't find a teammate. And there's Ødegaard into the channel looking for Havertz. Doesn't quite find his man, and Mazraoui hacks it into touch on this near side. Garnacho, does he keep it in? No, it will be a throw to Arsenal.
We've just seen there why Mazraoui's playing on this side for his pace. He's covering pace on this side. Maguire can't do that. He'll be isolated in the middle. He'd be like a man stuck on a desert island.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you thought Maguire was going to start today, you immediately thought he'd be the central of the three, didn't you?
He had to be.
It is worth pointing out, by the way, if I look through the substitutes bench, that Lenny Yoro is there for Manchester United. There was talk of that from Ruben Amorim, a bit of a hint, really, that he was likely to be on the bench for Manchester United today, and he is. Some had hoped perhaps he'd start, but having yet to actually play, and he actually got injured against Arsenal during pre-season.
So the thing about I don't know what is his favoured side, or is he essential of the three?
Oh no, he'll play on the side. He's quick, strong. Be interested to see whether he fancies him left or right. And it's also worth pointing out as well that Godwill Kukonki is another one of the infamous Manchester United youth setup who is available for them on the bench today, wearing just the number 87 today. Although Arsenal are trying to match it with their number 76, Aidan Heaven.
Maiden?
Not quite maiden, but I'll tell you what, when he scores his first goal, a late winner for Arsenal in a game one day, you know what the headlines on the papers will be. They'll stick the M on the front.
Some of these names are incredible. I feel sorry for them when they went to go to school.
Well, I mean, he'll be hoping that he can do something heavenly for Arsenal one day, but it's Man United attacking at the moment with Garnacho. Harry Maguire is the highest up on the left-hand side. I thought he was offside there. No. Comes back to Bruno Fernandes. And it's back with De Ligt. Heaven, by the way, is a centre-half, 18 years of age. And you've got the issues they've got at the back. You can understand why he's there. Manchester United's Kukonki is also a defender. He is just 16 years of age. Unbelievable, these kids, aren't they? 6'5", by the way, at 16.
See, that's the problem, you see. I didn't eat the greens, but now they told me that's the reason why I wasn't big, but these kids are eating McDonald's and stuff like that, so...
I think if you stood you and me on top of each other, we wouldn't be 6'5", would we? It is with Saliba for Arsenal. Over the halfway line and to the right for Saka. Ruben Amorim standing in the technical area trying to direct his team. Saka comes infield to Ødegaard. But Man United so far keeping Arsenal at bay.
I do look at Arsenal. They're not a team that really probes. They haven't got that kind of... Ødegaard's their only one who does it. Everything is about getting the ball wide.
Saka slips.
They're not really going to overpower teams with creative play.
Joint most goals from crosses in the Premier League this season. As United go long, Raya quick high line. Gets to it first. Mazraoui then gets to the loose ball ahead of Havertz. And De Ligt uses Maguire. Left-footed to the near side for Malacia. Infield to Mazraoui. Got a bit of fortune that there was nobody behind Mazraoui because it was a bit behind him. He was able to turn into the space and pick up, work it out to the right-hand side for Diogo Dalot. It's interesting to see him in his, I would imagine be, if he could choose his favoured position in this system, on the right-hand side as the wing-back, as United go long, looking for that run that you and I have talked about with Dalot over and over again when we've commentated on United together. This time Raya was there, but Maguire spotted it, and he is very capable of getting on the end of some of those.
They've just got to be wider away to ask the question of the keeper. Yes, he'd be around it, but is he going to want to go so far wide of his goal to maybe go and try and get it?
Raya this time looks long, and it's all the way back, and Dallo is there the other end, heading it down, so he can do the job at both ends. Here's Ugarte. Back to Maguire. 0-0. Very nearly 20 minutes played. De Ligt. Fernandes out to the right for Dallo. Mount. Again quiet, neat and tidy, but hasn't done anything really of note so far. Mind you, you'd argue there's probably nobody on the pitch that has. Maguire out to the right, header forward by Dallo, won't find Mount, but Rice is there, two busy mates of course. Raya has it, Højlund trying to close him down, Mount out to the far side. Rice, he really has been given a far stronger defensive brief today, hasn't he, Rice? Haven't seen him in that attacking position that he takes up so much for Arsenal at all.
But we're hearing the Arsenal fans, they're not happy at this moment in time, the fans, because the way it's working out. I just think they can push him up
Mazraoui
higher.
caught though by Saka, runs for Ødegaard. Ødegaard to Saka on the right-hand side, slips it onto his left foot, gets some support from Timber, tries the cross. Bruno Fernandes blocks it. Corner Arsenal on the near side there, right.
And that comes about from overplaying, playing too tight in small areas, needless passing in Manchester United's midfield. They've got to be more progressive with their passing, more productive in what they're trying to do. Everything's just seems like they're happy to be at 0-0. Arsenal are not really testing them at all. And like you're talking about Declan Rice, they do need someone. They need him to squeeze on to get that extra man in that midfield.
Elsewhere tonight at the moment, Everton 2, Wolves 0, Man City 2, Nottingham Forest 0, Newcastle 1, Liverpool 0, Southampton 1, Chelsea 3, and in the kickoff that started at the same time as this, it's Villa 0, Brentford 0. Brentford, who have the best home record in the league this season, as Saka delivers the ball into the box, getting underneath the goalkeeper. He got a good punch to that one though. Ødegaard manages to get to it first ahead of Garnacho, gives it to Saka, takes it to the byline. There's a right foot cross headed back towards goal. Was that Timber getting up? And, it's gone over the crossbar anyway. It will be a Manchester United goal kick. Andre Onana, one of the few ever present for Manchester United this season. Bruno Fernandes, of course, the other, and Diogo Dallo all have started every game. This is only the second one that Rashford hasn't started. Arsenal get first contact with the goal kick, but it falls for De Ligt. Maguire comes back to Onana, booms that one towards Højlund, who has won a number of those headers so far. 3 Man United players getting each other's way. Højlund pulled down from behind by Zinchenko, and there's your foul, Paul.
Yeah.
You've asked for one, it's finally come. 22 and a half minutes gone. I don't think that might be some sort of record for an Arsenal-Man United fixture.
It's just there's been nothing, not that I'm condoning it, but there's been nothing of any great physicality at all.
De Ligt. Maguire out to the right-hand side. We've got the first goal of the game in the match between Aston Villa and Brentford. We can hear it now from Matt Isles.
Watkins is on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Into Rodgers, right-footed, and produces that! Oh, that's a sublime finish by Morgan Rodgers!
He's all right, Morgan Rodgers, isn't he?
Oh,
what player he's going to be.
What a buy he was as well.
Yeah.
Incredible buy.
He was. Partey has it for Arsenal in the centre circle. Bends a ball behind Malacia, who's just done enough to force Saka towards the byline, and then getting across his Mazraoui. Done really well there, Malacia, because for a moment I thought he was second favourite. It looked awkward, and he was every risk of giving away a penalty in that situation. So he'll be delighted that they've given away the corner, but that he forced Saka away from goal.
Well, the way he's gone at that ball, because he hasn't got a right foot, he should have been taking it on his inside, but he's tried to take it on his left foot, the goal side, and in the end, he was forced in the end. He had to follow the man out, otherwise he gives away a penalty. That was just poor positional play there by Malacia. Started in the wrong position, didn't know where Saka was.
Corner from the far side once again, which that man will take, Saka. little stuttering run up now, the delivery. They're obviously fancying getting this right under Onana. It's going to come for Zinchenko. Blocked. Martinelli came to him 8 yards out and he's put it wide. Had to just flash at it. Had to go quickly and first time. Got an all right contact, but I think was just scudding under the ball ever so slightly, and it flashes wide.
I just wonder, someone's got to speak to the referees, and they should talk about what Arsenal do, what Saliba does with the goalkeeper. He's actually dropped. We've seen the goal disallowed, and that was last night West Ham, where there was hardly a touch on the keeper. I'm watching Saliba, and he's jostling with the keeper as that ball comes in. So it should be a foul. But Manchester United are not doing what West Ham done at the weekend. They're not going man for man on the far post. They're virtually saying they're waiting in areas and letting them come across. At the moment, it's working.
Rice uses Raya, who gives it to Saliba. And Manchester United retreat into shape. Partey, 25.5 minutes gone. Messages coming in from Lee Hart. Listening while driving through Oregon on the way to California with a tanker full of moonshine. Not a lot to see for the freezing fog, except some rather beautifully white covered snowy trees. Brandon, who's excited by Arsenal getting him a 3-point clean sheet, he says. And it is, he says, trying to get Dermot to smile for the camera. But he got pup vaccines and a physical today, so he's a bit tired. That's his dog. Need Newcastle to hold on, Chris Wood to step it up, and an Arsenal clean sheet for 3 points. Arsenal have no shot at winning the Premier League with their coach, says BDK. Remember 2 years ago when he lied about players being sick with COVID? Then turns out he lied about it just not to have to play Tottenham. No one likes a cheat, says Ed Kane. I'll be honest, that one has slipped my mind a little bit. As a foul goes down through, I think it was Mount on Ødegaard. And we have another goal in the game between Newcastle and Liverpool, and we can hear that now. Your commentator for this one is Rob Dugmore.
McAllister can pick out Salah though down the right, just outside the right edge of the area, up against Lewis Hall, and in it goes to Jones for the equaliser, and in a flash Liverpool are level.
So Liverpool have the equaliser against Newcastle. You wouldn't bet against them going on to win that, would you? As Martinelli looks to attack Dalot, just stuck to his task well, got a toe on it. Martinelli still emerges with the ball though, and the Brazilian gives it to Zinchenko. Back to Martinelli through Partey, but he's been forced back brilliantly by Ugarte. He's just beginning to start to show what he's all about, I think, for Manchester United. Partey tries to find Saka, read by Malacia. A little bit loose, but it came to Fernandes, who's going to use Malacia again, who comes away over the halfway line. And again, he looks like their most dangerous outlet, Malacia, in some ways. To the left-hand side for Garnacho. Malacia pointed to where he wanted it. Garnacho just holds on to it. Manchester United haven't had a shot yet, let alone a shot on target. Bruno Fernandes comes back to Maguire. It's uber patience, I think it's fair to say. Mazraoui gets it back from Bruno Fernandes, just darts past Ødegaard. Garnacho always seems to want to come backwards. Garnacho at this moment in time had several opportunities to play in Malacia, who's made darting runs inside of him a few times. Not tried. De Ligt, Dalot, De Ligt just inside Arsenal's half. Maguire, and guess what?
It's back to the keeper.
From halfway line, here's Onana on the edge of his D. Rain pouring down in North London. Ruben Amorim. I mean, Ruben Amorim looks like he's got wet hair when he's bone dry, doesn't he? So it probably doesn't affect him too much. As the ball comes out to Mazraoui, you can see he didn't want that on his left foot. He's lucky that he was able to stretch out and give it to Malacia. Now Mazraoui's clipping away. Saliba will pick up and Arsenal will start again.
I think the manager was asking him to go forwards.
Timber, Saliba, Saka. Loads of space on the right. Malacia needs to come out to him. Saka shaping to go to the byline, drives it across, just hits Maguire, and then, well, that was an interesting one because it came to Malacia, he didn't quite know what to do with it, bounced to Onana, who's just kicked it behind for the corner, and then looked like he pulled up here. It might have been a hamstring. Let's see. Was there a handball there? No, he's lucky. He did sort of lean down with his arm.
He did. That's the worst thing about it. But he's pulling his arm away.
Yeah, he was trying to get it behind his back.
But then Malacia puts his keeper in trouble. But Malacia was left it wide open for Saka. Anybody with a right foot, even not a right foot, would have driven for that byline because Malacia opened up the door for him. Saka wouldn't take it on.
Corner taken short and too quick. Referee obviously spotted something in the 18-yard box and he wanted to refer to. He'll blow his whistle again and Saka will have another chance. Bukayo Saka with the corner. So far all of them have gone right underneath the goalkeeper. There's the delivery once again. It's deeper this time. Loads of space, loads of time for Onana, because all the Arsenal players did what you said they'd do with the very first corner, which was make their runs from deep, and actually then there was nobody there when it went deep. Half an hour gone 0-0. It is as tame an Arsenal-Man United game as you'll ever see. Yeah, I take it you're not a believer, and clearly Ruben Amorim isn't, of sort of players who are in form against a particular opposition, because Rashford scored 4 in 3 against Arsenal recently and has only scored more goals against Leicester than he has against Arsenal in his career, and he just didn't think, do you know what, I'll just take the gamble on it.
Yeah, I think it's
just performance based for him.
Yeah, I mean, I keep saying it, and people like you said it, you know, goals do matter, of course they matter, but so do performances as well, and his performances are still not there.
No,
they're not there. He's not doing enough. Yes, he's doing the main thing, team scoring, but he's not doing enough with the ball. He's not doing enough off the ball.
I mean, there's an argument to say, you know, someone like Roy Keane has quite infamously made it on British TV. But Erling Haaland doesn't do an awful lot other than score goals, does he?
Very, very true. Very, very true.
He scores them in ludicrous numbers, of course.
No, but I don't think Haaland can do a lot more.
No.
Than what
and
he
of course he does play as a central striker, which Rashford sort of only half does if he's asked to play there.
Well, he actually says he doesn't think he can play there.
He wants to be the left side, doesn't he?
Yeah, but then you look at the left side and you say that United are maybe lacking somebody to do it. On the right-hand side, there's Diallo, but when he's on the left-hand side, his performances are poor, really poor. That's the thing. That's meant to be his best position. Go and own it.
Arsenal have scored 3 goals in each of their last 3 home league games against Manchester United. They had only done that once in the previous 19. So their record against Man United under Arteta is outstanding. And you have to go back to October of 2021 to find the last time Man United beat one of the traditional top 6, the Big 6 if you prefer that, away from home in the league.
You have to remember as well, Toby, there's a lot lesser teams who have got good records against Manchester United of late.
Yes, there are. Will that one run for Bruno Fernandes? It will, just taking it off of Odegaard, and that's a lovely flick by Garnacho to burst past Saliba, and then almost just like he did in the first minute when he tried a trick and he took it out of play for a throw. This time he tries it on the byline, it's a goal kick. He is frustrating at times, is Alejandro Garnacho. Look, he's young, there's plenty of time.
I just don't think he can't play that role as that 2 behind the 1 up front. It's not him. He needs that wide area, but when he gets in that wide area, decisions are poor and he becomes very selfish. That's the problem. He's a player who just needs a lesson in life, in my opinion, about how he goes about his game and the involvement he must have for the team, because he just doesn't involve the team in his game.
Free kick to Arsenal after a foul by Mazraoui on Havertz on this near side. Extraordinary lack of goalmouth action so far in this game.
We'll leave the highlights out.
Everton have a third against Wolves. Man City have a third against Nottingham Forest. Doesn't mean they'll win, of course. They were 3-0 up against Feyenoord recently and failed, but Jeremy Doku's scored for them. And Villa have a second against Brentford as well, as Raya has the ball at the back for Arsenal. Clears it so calmly to Timber. Over the halfway line away from Bruno Fernandes, gives it to Saka. Little Ronaldo-esque step over, but it was just watched carefully by Fernandes and then Partey manages to give that one away straight to Højlund, who works it left for Garnacho, holds it up, takes too much time. Højlund back to Bruno Fernandes, now in the centre circle. Ugarte needed to release it quickly, very nearly didn't with Havertz behind him, but just got it away to Dalot. Ugarte, back he comes to Harry Maguire. Floaty, slow ball out to Dalot. Ugarte, Rice is with him, bypasses him, does the Uruguayan, gives it to Garnacho, who's switched temporarily at least out to the right-hand side, and Zinchenko with a pullback on him, at least 2 nibbles there. And then a foot round him that didn't get the ball either. It was inevitable they'd give away the free kick. 10 yards inside Manchester United's own half, to the right of centre. De Ligt, physically imposing centre-back takes. Maguire, Mazraoui, Malacia, Mazraoui. Amorim will be, you would have thought, for the time being, satisfied just about enough, I would have thought, Paul Parker, without necessarily being pleased. In the end, if you're 0-0 with Arsenal for as long as possible, it gives you a chance.
It does. He'll be pleased with what he's seen on 2/3 of the game, but he'd be very disappointed in that last third because there hasn't been an effect at all. Nothing at all. Been very, very flat. So that's where he might make a change to add, thinking there might be an opportunity to get something.
He'd bite your hand off for 0-0 in this game, wouldn't he?
Oh, of course he would.
Absolutely. Timber, central position, moved to the right for Ødegaard. Saka beyond him, but instead he comes back in field for Timber. Partey. Timber. Saka. Another little loose pass, that one, and Garnacho's there. Now Garnacho emerges with it. Saka with the foul from behind. Free kick, Man United on halfway.
It just seems like Arsenal have suddenly gone playing like we've got to stop Manchester United, while every other team has said we've got to go at Manchester United. Arteta seems to be scared to lose to Manchester United, when in theory, given everything what Arsenal are at the moment, they should be believing that they can beat Manchester United.
As I mentioned in the build-up, here's Garnacho. Loads of space out on the right-hand side for Dalot, and he's finally picked out a decent pass there with that high-hanging ball. Mount, Dalot, not really going anywhere again, and back they come towards halfway. De Ligt, Maguire. In the centre circle, here's Mazraoui, deepest outfield player, and he'll start once again with the big beard. Left-footed, goes down the line looking for Malacia, gets it all wrong, and that is the disadvantage of having Mazraoui on the left. That ball was on, quality was not. Mount tries to close down Rice, he just about gets it back to Kivior. Rare start for Jakub Kivior. Hasn't been tested. I can tell you there has been a third goal in the game between Newcastle and Liverpool. And without giving away which way it's gone, it's a Scouser that scored it. Mazraoui catches Havertz from behind as he tries to pick up the passed ball out from Raya. I'll tell you, the most animated people around this ground at the moment are Arteta and Amorim. It's 2 sets of sort of 2/3 players at the moment, it feels. Look, Arsenal are clearly the more likely, but I'd argue that there have been fortuitous chances for them. You know, the Partey one, which he missed from the corner, the Martinelli one, which he flashed wide after a shot deflected to him. The offside goal very early on, which Man United nearly gave away themselves. Mazraoui is judged to have caught Timber. It's a free kick for Arsenal now, which they take towards the right through Havertz to Saka. Saka gives it to Ødegaard. Saliba.
I think I'm going back to the days of George Graham and saying this could be 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Yeah.
It's that kind of game at this moment, because they're the only team who look like they could win.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be certain of it at this moment in time.
The only way
feels like 0-0's the most likely right now.
With the present players on the pitch for Manchester United, yes. if he wants to go and try and win this game, he's got to change something in that front three.
Rice to Zinchenko. We've got 6 minutes plus stoppage time at the end of the first half. 0-0. Partey. Saliba. Over to the far side. Picked up by Martinelli. Rice is in that advanced position on the left if he wants him. Martinelli goes at him, cross comes in straight to the arms of Onana. And I think that means we can go and hear about this third goal of the game between Newcastle and Liverpool. Commentator is Rob Dugman.
Tonali can slow it down again. No, he doesn't want to. Guimaraes. Good intent here from the hosts. Up to Isak. On a plate now for Gordon. Inside and in for 2-1.
So Newcastle lead Liverpool. Well, we know what happened at the weekend. We know about the gap. Just imagine if Arsenal go and win tonight, suddenly things look a little bit rosier at the top for them. They do as well for Man City at the moment, who are winning 3-0. Chelsea are 3-1 up at Southampton, 10-man Southampton. They haven't scored since Saints had the man sent off. They were 3-1 up already by that point. Currently going above Arsenal into second. Villa have a third against Brentford, who just cannot play away from home anymore. Bruno Fernandes pops it out to the right-hand side, where Dalot picks up. Martinelli will stop him from having a free run into the Arsenal half. Gives it back to Bruno Fernandes. He hangs it out to the left-hand side for Malacia. Instant control on the left foot by the Dutch fullback. Garnacho now caught by Timber, who was a little bit rash. Most United players, Adrian Sparks says, don't fit the 3-4-3. I'm going 3-1 Arsenal, who were the scorers in United's last win at the Emirates back in 2017. Well, I'm delighted to say that I can tell you that, actually. The 3-1 winners. Jesse Lingard got 2. Antonio Valencia got the other. Paul Pogba was sent off. And David De Gea that day made 14 saves, which at the time was the joint most in any single Premier League match since records began, which was back in 2003-04. So we're now into the 21st season of records. Because I don't know if you know, but your day doesn't count anymore.
Of course it doesn't count.
Mount's delivering from a free kick towards Maguire, just behind Zinchenko. Might drop for Garnacho, will it? They're going to come up for Mount. Mount tries a shot from a long, long way. Can Maguire keep it in? He can. It'll come back for Dalot! Across the keeper and across the goal and wide. That's a real chance for Diogo Dalot. You might argue that it's the best chance that any of the sides have properly created in this game. Mount's volleyed effort was atrocious. Maguire kept it in. His cutback was poor, but Kivior's clearance fell straight to Dalot, who probably should have scored.
Well, at least hit the target, to be perfectly honest, and he was just maybe shocked where he was, and he's had a shot, given how long it's been since United have had a shot, which was, well...
Never.
I was going to say 42 odd minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is the warning shot across the Arsenal bows. It only needed a touch from someone to go in, or for a little bit better execution. Here's Saliba. Partey. Little looped ball comes back for Timber. 2 minutes plus stoppage time at the end of the first half. Havertz. Foul there. Mikel Arteta's saying, where's the yellow card? And he's got one for Malacia. So if his evening was tough enough already, then I've just got that little bit tougher. He is showing a yellow card. He actually flashed a second. I'm not totally sure who that was to, but I've seen worse challenges tonight than that. It was a little pull, really. And it might have been Havertz's response that got him one. I'll try and find out for you. I haven't yet had any confirmation. I'm told there'll be 1 minute of stoppage time, and I think that'll tell you just about what sort of game we've had tonight, as Timber manages to bounce away from Garnacho. Might break for Saka. Good ball away that by Malacia. Saka catches him. The Arsenal fans aren't happy. Malacia has stayed down. I think Saka do well to avoid a yellow card, and I think Ugarte being booked for suggesting he should get a yellow card. There's a good tackle that by Malacia on Timber. Then Timber goes in to get retribution. Does he? And he catches Mazraoui on the head. And I think it's just going to be the one yellow card this time, and it's gone for Manuel Ugarte. That was for imaginary yellow card.
So that's a sloppy booking, to be perfectly honest. They're the ones that you should be fined for.
Dissent, basically.
Unnecessary.
Dalot. I'd argue, I have to say, that I think Saka did merit the yellow card for the foul. I've certainly seen lesser fouls given bookings. But Man United at this moment in time, as we're 15 seconds into the minute of stoppage time, I think we'll be relatively satisfied with their work. But they started right at the bottom of the top half of the table tonight, going to a title challenging away ground. We mentioned earlier they'd take 0-0, and at this moment in time that's what they've got. Ruben Amorim down on his haunches, just waiting for the half-time whistle to go. Could argue that Diogo Dalot has had the best chance of the game, or at least they've properly created the best chance of the game, as Højlund tries to hold it up. Ugarte steps away from Martinelli, turns back, gives it to Dalot again. Here's De Ligt. Time is up by my watch. Half-time whistle goes. It has not been a classic, but Manchester United doing just about enough at the moment to hold Arsenal at bay. Half-time, Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Playoffs are calling. The Audi 2024 MLS Cup playoffs are here. Playoffs.
What's up, SO peeps? Connor, True, hanging out with us here for Manchester United and Arsenal. Thank you to the 21 in the chat. Hang on, we're going to send these gift memberships out there. I put the warning out a few minutes ago to make sure you guys put that up and on. Let me go in there right now and do that. So a tough first half for sure. A very, very tough first half. But it is what it is. Hopefully the second half will be a little bit more exciting. Great to see you, Connor. Glad to have you chatting it up, man. And same with you, True, brother. Thank you, man, for doing what you do. And I'm gonna play your video here in a second when I am processing this through. So True said it was a solid half for the Reds. Need a goal in the second half. We've been compact. Hey, like you said earlier, True, you just want the result. So if we could just get the point, that'd be good. All right, jumping on to True's little message here for you guys, and then we're gonna give away some memberships. So I hope it works for you, True, Connor, everybody else that's been waiting. Good luck. Don't forget to hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're new as well. We're one away. $65.99. Let's get to 6,600. Here we go.
Your home. Chat with them. Choose the best one. Get paid. Thousands of extra dollars in your pocket, and it's still day one. Smart agents. Smart you. Get more when you sell your home. Go to ready.com. RED.
How's it going, my fellow Manchester? How's it going, my fellow Manchester United and SOP fans? Hope everyone is enjoying the stream this evening. This is a massive, massive game, as I said at the start of the stream, because it's Manchester United versus Arsenal. We need to get these 3 points, so hopefully we have a good second half here under the new manager, Ruben Amorim. Now, I am here to offer a service to you guys. What I do is take people's teams on EA FC 25, starting from ground zero all the way to the top, by offering a Division Rivals or FUT Champion service, or for some people, both. Now what this means is I get the highest ranks in Division Rivals and FUT Champions. DM me on Twitter. My Twitter is @truekiller_. I'm sure it's in the description. You can see me in the chat. But come on United, let's go.
What's up, guys? All right, there we go. We bought the memberships there, and there you go. We got TSI Mike. Hey, that's me. Devin Lihart. TSI Allison, the love of my life. Zachary Harden. My God, Zachary! Wow! Those are some old SOP names right there. Zachary Harden, SKC, Sporting Kansas City fan. As well, Bernardo Labrada, LA Galaxy fan. Man, we might have to do MLS Cup on here. I'll have to have Devin. I'll have to get Devin up on that one, or we'll see. Maybe I'll just run that one myself. All right, Connor didn't get the gift. Neither did True. What the hell, guys? That's messed up. But maybe we'll try again next game, which is on what, Saturday or Sunday? It's the 7th, December the 7th, which is Saturday, is the next Manchester United game. So thank you guys for being here. 11 likes. Let's get that up to 20. Go refill those beers, those cocktails. If you're over in England like my boy True, then it's party time. For me, I'm working right now. That's why I've been kind of quiet in the chat. We'll get to the halftime show and let that play in the radio. Let's have a big second half, Manchester United. Let's go, Reds. Let's go, Red Devils. Let's go, Man U. Thanks for being here. Cheers.
I think that with this attitude, we are going to. I am sure that we are going to have more wins, and that's why. But explain this now is not easy for me. But the only thing that I am worried is to work tomorrow to stand up the players and to be ready for the next challenge.
Ready for the next challenge, says Ulan Lopetegi. The next challenge might have to be a different club, to be honest with you, mate, because it is not going well at West Ham. Of course, that is an outstanding start to life, though, as boss for Ruud van Nistelrooy. I was told earlier on that is just the second of the last 15 new managers in the Premier League to actually win their first game in charge, the other one being Arne Slot. That's an incredible statistic. So much for a new coach bounce. Did work for Van Nistelrooy yesterday, though, and he was thrilled.
Well, I was hoping and thinking, if we could get a win, that would be fantastic. I think also with the other fixtures today, this was a big round in the Premier League, and for us to react on a bad spell, on a bad result Saturday, and 3 days together. This is the third day, and I think the points are massive, are important, and the most important because we were effective in scoring 3 out of a few chances, and I think on the other side was West Ham. They had an unbelievable amount of attempts and shots and couldn't score them. So compliment to Mats, had a great game. Centre backs and sixes as well. The wingers in the 9 and 10, they worked their socks off today to help the other 6. But that's the foundation for the rest of the season. You know, that work, that togetherness, that hunger, that fight. We need it every game in this league to get results, and we saw that today.
Paul Parker, you'd take Ruud van Nistelrooy up top for Man United at the moment, wouldn't you? Even maybe at this age.
I think so. You need something up because there's nothing up there at all at the moment. I'm watching Ugarte, and every time he's getting the ball, which for every midfield player, his first look is always forwards, and then he's having to come back, keeping possession great, using his body great, giving it back to one of the centre halves and virtually putting his arms aside going, what have I got to hit? If he has got something to hit, he might be frightened to give it to him because he's not sure if they can keep it. But there's no movement at all. So the manager, in my opinion, just might make a change, if not a half-time early on, think himself that one player, and I think Diallo, on that right-hand side up with Zinchenko there, can cause a problem. just for the fact his ability and his belief when he's got the ball.
Is it me, or has the manager Arteta has he almost tried to cater for what potentially he is suggesting is a bit of a weakness at left back in Zinchenko today by forcing Declan Rice to do a defensive job there, because he's been out there quite a lot himself, hasn't he? Do you think that is about Zinchenko, or do you think actually he thought Ahmad was going to be there?
I think he thought Ahmad was going to be there, and you've hit the nail on the head there with that one, Toby. That's exactly right. But then he should adapt accordingly and go, well, hold on a minute, push out, leave Zinchenko there. But that tells you he's still got doubts about him because of Dalot bursting through.
Yeah.
So he's still worried about Dalot's pace, where before it isn't pace, it would be Diallo, his ability, his dribbling ability.
Yeah. If it was to be a change like that, are we assuming it's straight for Dalot, or do they sort of have another little shufty around?
It'll have to be a chuck around really before Dallow's going to stay in that park.
Yeah.
But I think we have
and
to.
You can't expect Malacia to last the game.
No, that's the point. No, that's the one you will look at. Malacia may be off. He did it before, come off at half time, didn't he? In the game in Europe. So he might just make that change now.
He's done all right though, hasn't he, Malacia, for a first start in the Premier League since May 23?
Yeah, I think Saka's had one moment with a cross deep. That's all he's done really. Other than that, he's done fine up against allegedly one of the best wide players in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well look, there are loads of other games ongoing at the moment. I can tell you about some more goals as well. Chelsea now 4-1 up against 10-man Southampton. There's also been a fourth goal of the game between Everton and Wolves. Everton were 3-0 up last time we heard from your commentator Andrew Self.
Neil to deliver. High line being held by Wolves. It's swept in. Oh, it's in again, and I think that could be a double for Dawson. Calvert-Lewin goes there, but I think Dawson may well have just put another one into the back of his own net. Calvert-Lewin's getting the plaudits on the floor, but I've got a funny, sneaking feeling that Calvert-Lewin's has been applauded for two, and I'm not so sure if Dawson hasn't put them both in. I'll have a look at a replay. Can say that Decore's legs offside here. I think it's Craig Dawson again with his second own goal of the game.
It certainly has been credited to Craig Dawson as a Watford fan who was furious about him on the final day against Arsenal, giving away a penalty on a day we got relegated within the first minute. I can't help but laugh. Paul, do you ever score two own goals in a game?
No, never.
Absolutely.
Thank God I haven't really, otherwise you might just remind me.
I guess the only positive for him is that they'd be 2-0 down even without him and going down. But just very, very briefly, that's a bad look for Gary O'Neill, isn't it?
It's a terrible look. He was one who was going out on shows and delivering a class act in how to play. I mean, if I remember rightly, sitting there on TV showing everyone how he played in a game to go and get a win away from home at Bournemouth, and all of a sudden he's in a bit of trouble. He's still a manager learning his job, but at the moment he's having a terrible time, and people will be talking about him as being out of work soon.
Everton 4-0 up against Wolves. Second half of Arsenal Man United to come. It's got to get better on Premier League Live.
Previously on White and Jordan.
Good morning, my good friend. You're looking very healthy this morning. A bit more colour about the gills.
Shocking the rest of the week then.
Double trouble, daily drama and searing debate.
We're just going to do what we do.
Yes.
We're better than everybody else.
Yeah.
And here it is, the living proof of it.
Absolutely right.
Jim White and Simon Jordan.
He loves a showdown, a street fight.
Continues weekday mornings from 10 on Talk Sport.
Hello, this is Álvaro Romeo. This is the podcast Universo Premier League. Let's go.
Pienso en Declan Rice. Pienso en el entrenador que tiene el Arsenal y el fútbol que despliega y me parecen que encajan perfecto.
Podemos decir del momento de Grealish. Probablemente uno de los mejores defensores con balón.
El domingo en Wembley hablamos con Casemiro.
Quien me conoce se sabe que voy por un balón como si fuera un plato de comida.
Joelinton nos atendió al final del partido.
Sí, muy triste, pero tiene que levantar la cabeza.
This season, don't forget to listen to the podcast Universo Premier League.
Reasons to like TalkSport. 1, 2, 3. A bit of Simon Jordan, the hottest news from F1, the latest transfer deals done. Paul walks me.
Brownies with the swinging 70s end.
Tony Cascarino, trips to the casino, a pint of cappuccino. Alan Brazil.
Just brilliant.
Adrian Durham, come here if you want some. We'll bloom and take you all on TalkSport's got skills.
Don't be a blockhead. Listen to TalkSport on DAB Digital Radio 1089 and 1053 AM, on the app and on your smart speaker.
TalkSport.
The World in 10 podcast is your essential 10-minute daily roundup of all the biggest stories from across the globe.
I'm Alex Dibble from The Times. On the World in 10 podcast, me and my team sit down and go through it all in just 10 minutes.
Hear eyewitness accounts, insightful interviews and expert correspondent analysis.
I was actually on the orthopaedic ward, almost all the injuries are shell fire.
10 minutes to stay on top of the world. Subscribe for free now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify or your preferred podcast provider.
TalkSport Drive. Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport.
TalkSport Drive with me, Darren Bent.
And me, Andy Goldstein.
All-terrain sports radio for a power-hungry nation.
The national radio show with a bootload of sport.
Unrivaled, opinionated comment from the biggest names in sport. And Andy Goldstein.
Mirror, signal, move over for TalkSport Drive.
With Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent. Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport.
The fastest football on the way home.
Listen to your choice of Premier League matches this season on TalkSport.com.
To raise the trophy, there it is!
If you're outside the UK, head to the fixtures page of our website and every game will be live.
The team on top are Manchester City.
Don't miss a single kick of the Premier League season with TalkSport.
Well, before we come back for the second half of Arsenal Man United, what about this? Newcastle-Liverpool, Rob Dugmore.
Now with Diaz. Infield again to Robertson. McAllister can take over. Now Jones. Szoboszlai lets it run through his legs. And in now for Salah! They've turned this game on its head. And once again, it's the man of the moment, Mo Salah, to do the business for Arne Slot. Just over 7 minutes to play. And it is now Newcastle 2, Liverpool 3.
Of course it is. You are listening to TalkSport's coverage of Arsenal against Manchester United from the Emirates. I'm your host, Toby Gillis. Alongside me, Paul Parker, former Man United defender. This is Premier League Live, and that was Liverpool taking a late lead, having twice been behind at Newcastle, to go 3-2 up in the very closing stages. Surely that's it, isn't it? Surely they win again. Amazing. Manchester United are making a change at the break. Amad Diallo, Paul Parker, is coming on. Have you ever heard anything so shocking as Amad Diallo coming on? Just waiting for confirmation, but I would have thought it's Malacia that is coming off, despite having a really decent effort in his first 45 minutes. And yeah, it is exactly that suggestion.
That's the thing, this just might open the game up more now, just on the fact of Diallo on his side, but on Arsenal's point of view, it just might free up Saka more up against Dalot, because Dalot's defensive abilities are not very good.
Immediately Arsenal go into the Diallo channel, but across comes Harry Maguire to clear. As soon as I get the opportunity, I'll give you the full 11s once again. Let's do it now for Arsenal. Raya, then it's Timber, Saliba, Kiwior, Zinchenko, Ødegaard, Partey, Rice, Saka, Havertz and Martinelli. Zinchenko in possession at the moment for Arsenal. United have Onana in goal. This ball is played up towards the United box. Amad Diallo hooks it away from the edge of the area. Done well, actually, it's fair to say. Then it's De Ligt, Maguire, Mazraoui. It's now Diallo, Ugarte, Fernandes and Dalot. And then Garnacho, Mount and Højlund. Marcus Rashford still on the substitutes bench for Manchester United. Here's Zinchenko. Delivers early to the edge of the box. Mazraoui clears away. Mount chests it down for Ugarte. Once again, not an awful lot of movement there for him to aim for, but they've worked it out nicely there, and Dalot takes it beautifully. And then the second touch, I'm not quite sure if he intended for it to go wide to Garnacho and failed, or if he just had an odd second touch. Fortunately, Partey's given it away. I think he's been quite poor tonight, Partey. Fernandes out to the left-hand side, and here goes Garnacho for Manchester United. Garnacho towards Højlund. He's the outside of his right boot, went in early. Højlund didn't quite gamble on it early enough. It was an unpredictable ball, in fairness, from Garnacho. But Højlund tried to get in ahead of Kiwior. It was far enough ahead of him, but he was never getting to get onto it. And away it goes for an Arsenal ball.
Yeah, It was always going to be a difficult ball because he's trying the outside of his right foot. It was too far in front of Højlund in the end and too much pace.
And away go Arsenal. De Ligt's chest down, that one might be heavy, and he's caught out by Ødegaard. He's fortunate that his teammate Mazraoui bails him out, but Arsenal quickly onto it, and here goes Martinelli up against Maguire, deflected off of Maguire's legs. He punches the air there. Maguire, he didn't quite want to commit to coming too far across to him because I think he knew that Ødegaard was behind him, but there was cover, and he's got a bit fortunate there.
He has got fortunate, and he's fortunate in the fact of Martinelli took the shot early. Martinelli looked like he was going to go. He could have gone round the outside of him. He took the easier option and tried to get the shot off. And he got it. In the end, it was the right decision for Manchester United that he did take it on.
There has been all sorts of praise, hasn't there, recently for Kevin Kelleher and how much Liverpool have not missed Alisson. I wonder if that narrative has just changed because there's been a 6th goal of the game between Newcastle and Liverpool. And I'm just seeing it on my monitor, and Fabian Schär has scored a late equaliser for Newcastle to make it 3-3, and it is a Kelleher error. Came for it, completely misjudged it, flew over his head, and Schär slid it in at the back post. Ball over the top for Arsenal. Here's a chance, cut back to Ødegaard. Can he sort his feet out? Here's Rice over the bar. Corner.
I think that's as good as it's been for Arsenal. To be honest, the first time they've really got in behind the Man United defence. The man was Dalot, who was ball watching again. Timber gets round the back of him, pulls it back, a little bit of a scuffle, and then Rice is coming in and he's gone high.
Tell you what, I think that should be a goal kick.
It should be a goal kick, to be perfectly honest. It's come off his toe, gone over. But again, Dalot cannot defend, he ball watches. Never happened in the first half, that. Never got to the byline as easy as that.
Rice to take this corner from the near side. Arsenal's left. Maguire trying to organise his defence. Rice puts his left arm into the sky. There's the delivery towards the near post. Manchester United deal with it. Garnacho will chase the ball out. Picked up by Saka. Comes back for Zinchenko. Saka on the right. Mazraoui comes out to meet him. As Bukayo Saka got a moment of magic. There's a chance for Ødegaard to lift the ball towards the back post. Fernandes was underneath Martinelli. It's back in by Rice. Comes out to Amad Diallo. And the offside flag goes up. Is there going to be another twist in the game between Newcastle and Liverpool? There is a VAR for a Liverpool penalty. We'll wait to hear which way that goes. In this game, you're not missing anything because they're just having a bit of a row. It's not a penalty, it's a corner. De Ligt is down at the moment in some pain. Remember, Lenny Yoro is available.
I'm watching Onana. Onana, for me, is telling him, if you get back on the field, we need you. No, he's gone, De Ligt. They've got to start the game, that's the problem. He's off the pitch, they've got to keep the game going.
And I think that's the point the Arsenal fans are making. He's off the pitch. There's now 2 balls on the pitch.
Harry, I don't know what
Harry Maguire just been booked. I think he's been booked for putting a second ball on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, that was ridiculous what he's doing there. The player's off the pitch. You've got to get on with it.
I mean, this whole thing's ridiculous. The whole game's been ridiculous in some ways. But Maguire, did he avoid a yellow card there? Anyway, no, he did get booked. Maguire, and Arsenal looking to come forward, but he's going to be overhit towards Martinelli. Onana will pick up. He's got it inside his area. Wait as long as he can. De Ligt is trying to hobble away behind the goal. He's got a huge grimace on his face. He's not comfortable. You want to test his pace, don't you?
It's a dead leg, isn't it, as well? If he's feeling that like that, he's
back on the pitch.
Back on.
He's played the ball up towards Højlund. It's a great ball towards Højlund. Raya was just there first outside of his area.
What a touch, by the way.
Yes, it was. Yeah. But here's De Ligt again. Hamad Diallo. It's behind Mount.
No, I'd say Mount's taken up the wrong position there. Lovely little pass round the corner there by Diallo. He's just off, not on his toes at all, Mason Mount.
Manchester United, though, with Amad Diallo attacking Zinchenko. Gets past him, goes into the box as well, tried the trick. Kivior got a bit fortunate that his trailing leg took the ball rather than the man. inside the area, but that's better already from Amad Diallo as the ball is cleared by Arsenal, but United pick up again through De Ligt, gives it to Maguire, and here's Onana. Been a few classic 3-3 Liverpool-Newcastles in the past, hasn't there? I think that one's going to be another one. This game's already got better second half as Martinelli has it edge of the area. De Ligt has to close him down. Martinelli takes it towards the byline, blocked by De Ligt behind, corner Arsenal. 6th of the game. United haven't had any.
Yeah, we've just seen there's been a difference in the play, and the substitution has opened the game up a little bit more on the attacking
Which I
side.
don't think Amorim will be very happy about, will he, at this moment in time?
Not really, but United have looked a little bit more of a threat. We're saying that it's about me and you, and we want something to talk about, and we're getting that now, aren't we?
We certainly are. Any neutral listening is going to be enjoying this better. At TalkSport Live if you are. Send us your pictures as well. Always love to see where everybody lives around the world that's listening to us. Declan Rice to take. His last corner did produce a bit of danger for Manchester United. Here it goes again. In it goes as well. Arsenal have the lead. And it is Jurrien Timber who has scored for Arsenal. So often they've put their corners right underneath Onana. He's dealt with them all until now, but Jurrien Timber has his first goal for Arsenal, and it's a big one to give them a lead at home to Manchester United. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 0.
We have to say, I mean, I talked about Arsenal and George Graham about, they've got a bit about that. There was a lot about dead balls as well, and it's just a job at the near post, and Fernandes is there, and he must have just missed him just over the top of his head, and Højlund as well, and he's just got in there behind and just got simplest touch at the near post. There's not a lot that Onana can do. Too many bodies in there for him to go looking for it. He's come across to his near post. It's gone to the spot where he wasn't. Bang, 1-0. That's Arsenal.
There was the tiniest of nudge on Højlund just in front of him, wasn't there? Just a little nudge that just earned him that space, because he gives up about a head to Højlund. Liverpool have dropped points in a fabulous game, but it's finished 3-3 at Newcastle. I think sometimes going to Newcastle and getting a draw is a point gained, especially if you've been behind twice. Manchester United now behind at Arsenal. Can they turn things around? Maguire goes through Ødegaard, but it won't fall for anyone in blue. Mount chasing down Zinchenko, turns inside of him. Zinchenko across towards the right-hand side for the goal scorer Timber. Might be bringing the Amorim house down tonight, Timber. Ødegaard steps away from Fernandes out on the right-hand side. It always felt like there was a goal more likely in this second half with the change. Ugarte takes it off of Saka, but it still falls for a red shirt. On the far side is Havertz.
The thing about it, Toby, it hasn't come in general play, it's come through a dead ball.
It's another goal from a cross, another goal from an Arsenal set piece. They do it so well. Rice heads it cushioned into the box for Havertz on the right-hand side. Comes back for Saka. Ødegaard takes it away. Can't spin away from enough players to get a free shot on goal. And Dalot will clear. Up it goes to Højlund. Looked like there was a foul there on
There's another one over there.
Over on the far side.
He's going to do a booking. So
yeah, for Timber. You're absolutely right. Yeah, we spotted the same thing.
And he should book him, to be honest. These substitutions don't surprise me, because United have been, not that I can actually put my hand on my heart and say they're going to make a difference. But I have to say the two players, Mount and Garnacho, just haven't done enough.
Yeah, Xerxes and Rashford are ready. United in the end, though, attacking with Dalot on the left-hand side, high up the field. Early cross into the box, doesn't beat Saliba. Out of play, goes far side. Man United throw. Will they make the change before it? No. That looked like a foul throw to me, one of the millions that we see every weekend that goes unpunished. Bruno Fernandes has it. Dalot. Garnacho. It'd take a week of properly policing them to change it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
1 week.
Yeah.
Players know how to do it. They're just lazy.
The referees have become lazy about it.
Bruno Fernandes, high-hanging cross to Amad Diallo on the near side. Tries to get away from Zinchenko, nearly got a bit of luck, but United still have it with De Ligt. De Ligt's ball's blasted towards Mount. He was never going to get on the end of that. Into the box it goes, cleared away by Arsenal. Will be picked up by Maguire, who uses Onana. who left-footed clips it out to the far side for Dalot. Manages to get it away from Saka, but only at the expense of giving it to Zinchenko in the centre circle. One more forward and right for Partey, and another again for Saka. Level with the edge of the 18-yard box on the right-hand side. Gets it back to Ødegaard. Ødegaard enters the area, gives it to Saka. It's brilliant, and it's an easy save at his near post by Onana when he just were convinced that Saka was going to score. Would have been interesting to see if the offside flag had gone up there. I'm not totally sure it would have done.
Yes.
It's narrow, but I think you're right. He was coming back from an offside position, so the shot wouldn't have counted. Didn't matter, and it's a comfortable save for Onana anyway, who bowls it out past Havertz to Maguire. So quiet, Havertz, tonight. Maguire passes it out. Awkward ball back by Mount to Ugarte, but he controls it on his thigh and then spreads it out to the left-hand side for Dalot. Garnacho goes outside of him. Dalot's going to come forward and hit one! And it goes high and wide. Man United haven't had a shot on target. 2 shots from Dalot, 2 go wide. That's not that far away, actually, from Dalot. That's a better effort, that. I think the Arsenal fans are hearing the Liverpool result at the moment, aren't they? They've got the 2 combined with the goal and the Liverpool result. And here is a moment as well, because Harry Maguire's coming off, as is Garnacho, as is Mount, and that means Lenny Yoro is coming on. We're going to see Yoro for the first time in a Manchester United shirt. What a signing they thought they had made. To have to wait until the start of December to see their £58.9 million teenage signing from Lille has been a long wait. But is this the start of a sensational career for this player who only turned 19 last month? Making his Premier League debut today. Zirkzee is also on, and Rashford. Arsenal give the ball away through Ødegaard to Bruno Fernandes. Can he spread it out to the near side? Didn't get the height to beat Martinelli. Well, United had to go for it a bit. Rice gets it away from one man. Yoro now trying to deal with Martinelli. They bypassed him. De Ligt comes across and covers, and it goes behind for a corner.
It all started from such an easy pass, but such a terrible pass from Fernandes going out wide. He's just virtually tried to, I don't know what, he just tried to chip it when he just needs to be driven out to Diallo, and he was 1 against 1.
To answer your question in the first half so far, Yoro's gone to the right of the 3 with De Ligt in the middle. Here's the corner from Rice. Scored from the last one. A second now might kill this game. Bang on the hour mark. Referee's not happy with something that he spotted in the box. So Yoro's getting a shade over half an hour. Everton have beaten Wolves 4-0. 4 shots on target, 4 goals. Højlund and Saliba are being spoken to by our referee tonight, who in fairness to him has done his level best to let this game flow, but he hasn't had too much to deal with either.
I just wonder how he can defend and not look at the ball. Højlund.
Here's Rice's delivery again. Same delivery as the one that went in, and it's had to be touched off the line by Mazraoui. At the near post, it was flicked on actually by Zirkzee. And was that going in?
Yes. Yes,
I think it's Ugarte that got the touch to take it away, didn't he?
Yeah.
That could have gone anywhere. Corner Arsenal again. Zirkzee, double goal scorer against Everton at the weekend. So close to an own goal in midweek. 29 left for play. Arsenal leading Man United 1-0. Saka to take. There's the delivery, very deep. Kept alive awkwardly by Martinelli, but Rashford's just headed it out to the near side. Manchester United, as things stand with all the other results tonight, are dropping back into the bottom half of the table. As Yoro comes across, Rashford will try and keep it in, can't do so. And United have had just 38% possession in this second half. They had a lot more in the first. Zinchenko will take the throw, level with the penalty spot on the near side, the left. Rice gives him it back. Amad Diallo comes across, touches it back out of play. Arsenal yet to make a change. Plenty of options if they want them. Kieran Tierney still waiting for that first game back for a long time. Gabriel Jesus, Leandro Trossard, scorer of the winner against Man United last season, end of the season. Rashford tries to play it into Amad Diallo, just showed too much to Zinchenko. Throw in United. Jorginho, Mikel Merino, Raheem Sterling, Ethan Nwaneri and Aidan Heaven. Manchester United only the one more change for them to make now, and the remaining players, Bayindir's the goalkeeper, Eriksson, Casemiro, Anthony and Godwill Kukonki. Here's Amad Diallo attacking Zinchenko, bypasses him. Zirkzee was on his heels, wasn't he there? And Rice was on his toes.
I don't know if he was on his heels. I just think the lad's just not quick enough. Just not quick enough. The pass was obvious what's going to happen next. Should have at least used his body to block Rice.
That ball might run for Martinelli. Tries to get away from Ugarte. It's come off of the Uruguayan last, I think. No, the decision's gone United's way. Arsenal are dropping a place tonight as things stand because of Chelsea's big win against Southampton.
Oh, that's terrible.
United have it again. Arsenal have a player down in Partey, but Man United don't care. They played it into the channel for Højlund to chase, and that's going to go out of play for a Man United throw, which Rashford will take. At 1-0, there's always a chance. Here's Yoro. Inside the Arsenal half. To the right for Diallo. Zirkzee. He's certainly a big presence, isn't he, Joshua Zirkzee? I actually commentated on his very first goal for Bayern Munich, a late winner in a game that they were otherwise heading to draw, and people started talking about him there. Quite happened, he got his move away. Bruno Fernandes with a heavy touch. Zirkzee fortunately was there for United to get it back, and then a poor pass out to the right-hand side by Yoro. Couldn't find Amad Diallo. Throw in for Arsenal, midpoint of their own half on the left. But what I was about to say about Zirkzee was he was a much more lithe character then. Look, he was a teenager, but he has filled out in a way I possibly never expected. I wonder if he's one of those that spends a bit too much time lifting weights. Sometimes you see it, don't you, in players?
You do, but he doesn't look like a person who's got much muscle definition. I look at his legs. There's no definition in his legs. They're big legs.
Plenty of people miss leg day, Paul. Oh, Amad Diallo's taking it off of Zinchenko, and then he was pulled back by Zinchenko. That'll be a yellow card for the Ukrainian. And Amad Diallo once again showing that he has purpose and desire, perhaps beyond anyone else in a blue shirt tonight for Man United.
Well, the thing was, he was trying so hard to get into the box, and he just wasn't going to be allowed to get there. And that's the problem when you talk to Arsenal fans. Zinchenko, they love what he does when he steps into midfield and plays. They just don't like his defending.
Can a set piece unlock Arsenal for Man United? Two-man wall. It's very wide on the right. It's about level with the 6-yard line in the Arsenal box, but probably 6 yards out to the right-hand side as United are attacking as well. Bruno Fernandes over it. Right arm into the sky. There's the delivery. It's deep. It's headed towards goal by De Ligt. Flying save by Raya to his left to claw it out. That is by a distance the closest Man United have come. And Raya again showing what an exceptional shot stopper he is.
I mean, what a great header, by the way, as well. He put power on it as well. He didn't just allow the ball to hit his head. He went and attacked that ball.
That was so close. And he really clawed it out, didn't he? Fabulous save. He is turning into some signing for Arsenal.
He was questioned early on as well.
Yeah. Well, he made the mistakes, didn't he? And you could sort of understand it. There was so much scrutiny on the signing. Well, the pressure was huge. Well, he's grown into the role.
Yeah.
De Ligt spreads it out to Amad Diallo. quickly tries to burst it into Zirkzee. Martinelli gets back at it.
Well, that's the thing as well. Martinelli is working so hard to get back every time Diallo gets on that ball.
That ball was 2 inches inside the post, too close to Raya. If it had been 3 more inches wide of him, he wouldn't have got it. But even still, he used every single millimetre of those fingers to push that one away.
That was a proper header, that was.
United finding a threat of sorts. But it's not really from open play. Mind you, Arsenal aren't either, really, as that ball attests. It's straight out of play for a goal kick. And I think Mikel Arteta might be tempted to make changes because that was a real warning to them.
I just wonder if I can actually say this. Are Arsenal becoming just a set-piece team?
Well,
in the sense
I mean, that's a big, bold call, isn't it?
Because I look at them and I look at general play and they've got little bits, but they don't look like a side that's going to consistently hurt you effectively by the way they play. Their strength is dead balls, their strength is corners.
That was their 7th set-piece goal of the season. That is now the most with Aston Villa. So I haven't seen whether Aston Villa have scored a set-piece tonight, but that's certainly prior to tonight they were level with Aston Villa. And it was their 27th goal of the season. So 7 from set-pieces. There's a ball up towards Rashford, but it was dealt with by Saliba. Timber comes away with it, the goal scorer. It's the unlikely first goal scorer for Arsenal. Ugarte reads the pass, takes it away from Ødegaard. To United's credit, this is the quietest Saka and Ødegaard will have been in any game in a long time, won't it?
I would say yes.
They've done really, really well to nullify those two, just not well enough to.
I just think this game. I think this game is so big. I think he's given Manchester United so much.
Rashford early ball into
so much respect.
The keeper.
And that's what he's done. They talked about Arsenal when they go to Man City. They were happy with a 0-0 draw. That could have cost them the title last season. They don't go at the games, the big games. This is the game they haven't really gone for it.
As we see the goal go in once more. Old tongue-out celebration from Timber. I'm sure when I was a kid I was told never to stick my tongue out, it was rude, but you see it more and more now. Partey comes back into the centre circle for Kivior. I was going to say haven't missed Gabriel tonight, but they haven't needed to miss him, have they, really? They haven't had that sort of threat, United, that Gabriel would have been challenged, or that Kivior has been. As the ball spins beyond Martinelli, it's a throw for Man United, and Arsenal bringing on Trossard and Mikel Merino.
That's Martinelli who comes off.
Yeah, rarely completes the 90, Martinelli. And that is spot on. So Arsenal's number 11
Partey
is off.
Zinchenko.
Well, my assumption then is Partey right back and Timber left back. That's what usually happens. As Mikel Merino comes on, just feeling his way into the Arsenal team. As Rice wins the ball over Bruno Fernandes, but it drops kindly for United, and they spread it to Dalot on the left-hand side, all right-footed into the channel for Rashford. Gets there ahead of Saliba, takes it to the byline. Saliba gets a toe on it, hits Rashford's shins, bounces kindly for the Frenchman, and he comes away with it to Saka, and Partey clears. Chest down by Havertz into the path of Ødegaard, to the left for Trossard, already up towards Yoro on the edge of his own box. Trossard going a long way, left-footed. Yoro stuck to his task brilliantly, slid in, made the tackle, gives it to Ugarte, who's so cool and calm, gives it to Yoro, and his clearance is only as far as right, might open up for a shot. What a block that is by Bruno Fernandes. Nice little passage of play for both sets of players there. United defending excellently. Arsenal going a little bit more cavalier with that effort from Rice. But Bruno Fernandes blocks it. Far side, throw in to Arsenal.
Yeah, he got caught up a little bit with the crowd there. I think Declan Rice telling him to shoot. But I mean, that was great work. That was Yoro and Ugarte as well, showing his worth.
Should point out that Man City are back to winning ways. 3-0 against Forest. Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne and Jeremy Doku Remember earlier, Newcastle 3, Liverpool 3. These are results. Everton 4, Wolves 0. Southampton 1, Chelsea 5. Jadon Sancho, perhaps interestingly, scored the last goal for Chelsea. And then in the ongoing games, we got this one with Arsenal beating Man United 1-0 and Aston Villa 3, Brentford 1 as Marcus Rashford makes a mistake down by his own corner flag. And guess what? It's another corner to Arsenal. They're 9th of the game.
And to be honest, defensively, this is the only problem that United have had, is from the corners.
Yes.
It's where Arsenal have been causing the biggest problems.
The problem is they've offered absolutely nothing themselves, have they? So here comes Saka's delivery, deep to the back post. It's gone in. I think that's an own goal, is it? Or is it Saliba? Well, Arsenal have doubled their lead. It was a header at the back post, back across goal. And William Saliba has made it Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0. Paul Parker said it's been the only threat to the Manchester United defence. It's the only threat Arsenal have needed to put on the Man United defence. 9 corners, 2 goals, Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0.
And the worst thing that will come out of it was a needless corner as well. Marcus Rashford trying to be too clever, gives away a cheap free kick. It gets to the back post.
It's hit him on the backside.
Yeah, and the keeper's just gone along his line. He hasn't. Yeah, he's got blocked off a little bit again.
Well, it is a marquee night for Arsenal, their 500th game at the Emirates. And barring a drastic turnaround now, you're sure they're going to win it. For a new ground, the record's not bad. They had won 335 of the first 499. Well, there's a long wait going on. There is a VAR with an offside call potentially. Well, goodness me.
What, for the backside? Oh no, come on.
Oh, I think Saliba might have this one nicked off him, might he? Surely not.
I'm trying. Oh, the attack.
So it's part. Yeah, but it was a corner.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's a goal. Of course, it's a goal. Can't be offside from a corner, can you?
If the ball was to go out second phase of play,
yeah, second phase, but it was the first contact, wasn't it, Partey? So Manchester United have it all to do and are, as things stand, going down to their first defeat under Ruben Amorim. And Arsenal are looking to threaten again. Here's Havertz! Can't beat the goalkeeper at his near post from 3 yards out. Just blocked him off, Onana. But it's beginning to open up for the Gunners now.
And that's the first time we've seen Havertz really at all facing goal and getting a shot off. Another player just hasn't been seen this evening.
It was at Onana, but he didn't really have a choice. So another corner to Arsenal. Scored in his last 2, Kai Havertz, back to goal-scoring form. He's top goal scorer on 9, and of Saka on 7 in all competitions. Manchester United's top goal scorer, Alejandro Garnacho, has had no sort of impact on this game prior to being subbed. And they've brought on their second top scorer, Marcus Rashford, who's had even less. Ruben Amorim doesn't seem to be able to watch as another corner goes in. Has to be punched over the goal by
just got
Onana.
there. That was just a foul, by the way.
Well, I think Saliba is being wrestled by Højlund more.
Do you know what, Toby? You can't give fouls and corners because then once you give one, you have to commit.
It's never ending.
It's never ending. There has to be common assault to actually give something.
Corner. I don't know if I said the word corner so many times. Here's the delivery again from Saka. Another free header. Marino heads it wide. That's a huge chance. Arguably, there's a bigger chance than the 2 they've scored.
Yeah, they virtually cleared out the space for him to step into. They just blocked everyone off, and I don't know now. I think what will happen, I think next season we'll see more and more teams will be doing this now in the game. This will become one of the new things in our game.
Well, Ben White was sort of highlighted for it last season, wasn't he? He was a lot of housery at corners where Arsenal were concerned, as Rice tries to find Havertz, dealt with by Ugarte. Arguably Man United's best player today. Lovely little dink to Rashford, couldn't bring it under control, a bit awkward that one, and Saliba picks up. Saka then goes down with Ugarte behind him. Ugarte, who has been booked.
It's not a bad challenge. It's been made into a bad challenge.
Was there any bit of you that wondered in the Everton game whether Ruben Amorim hadn't realised that both Mainu and Martinez were already on 4 yellows? Because I just wondered why it was a game that he felt the need to go with them both in. You know, they were...
You can't just keep playing like that when someone get yellows. We need to change the way our process with yellow cards somehow. It needs to be changed. The amount of free kicks, and fouls that have been given because of players acting, I think we have to change it, because otherwise managers, he's on a yellow card, got to take him off. It's just,
well, of course he did. He had to make 2 changes quickly afterwards, so he didn't lose the likes of De Ligt.
Yeah, I mean, that's how bad. That's how one of the bad our games becoming now. Players are playing towards that. They want players on yellow card because it will get them off the pitch at some point.
Ball in from the free kick for Arsenal, headed away by De Ligt. Ahmad just chasing and chasing. Trossard holds him up. Great strength. Zirkzay's toe in. Only runs to Trossard again. There's a cross, De Ligt away. Zirkzay heads underneath it. Can't get it. Forward by Timber. I think possibly Marino knows he's offside. He tries the cross. It comes off of Euro. The offside flag does eventually go up, because Marino always looked reluctant to touch that ball.
Zirkzay hasn't touched the ball yet, has he?
Oh.
Hasn't touched it.
Yeah, I think a couple of times, not much. And here comes Anthony for Rasmus Højlund.
That means then that Rashford just goes down the middle and...
Yeah, or Zirkzay, who was playing in that position against Everton. And then, Anthony on the...
No, I think that Rashford
through the middle.
Rashford was through the middle against Everton. And he was meant to be playing. He was one of the ones in behind him.
Yeah, okay.
With Garnacho. That's how it should have worked out. I don't know. Obviously, you're seeing a different picture of me, and I don't blame you. I really don't blame you.
I mean, right at this moment in time, Zirkzay is the central of them. I wondered whether Anthony might go into the right wing-back position with Ahmad a bit advanced, but no.
It looks like I don't know. Ahmad looks like he could be a right back. I really don't know.
It's fair to say Arsenal fans are enjoying taunting the Man United supporters at the moment. And to be honest with you, given the lack of any sort of threat they've had for Arsenal today, you can't really argue with the message. Ødegaard to the right. Saka in the box, back to Ødegaard. Steps away from Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United going on and on and on as they seek a victory against a Big Six side. They are really, really struggling, it's fair to say, to get anywhere close. This is their 15th attempt since their last one. Drawn 4, lost 10. They're going to lose 11, aren't they? Since a 3-0 win at Spurs on the 30th of October 2021. And we're into the final 10. It's not one that will live long in the memory, I wouldn't have thought, as Saka looks to get in behind here. Flag stays down, Saka across the face, Euro slides behind, corner.
I mean, it's got to be an incredible run, this one, to be onside. Yeah, he's played onside by Euro. Wasn't up with it, hasn't played for ages, so I'll give him that, but he was standing too far behind his centre half. Played him onside by 2 yards.
"12 corners to none," and it's been, you can't judge a game on the number of corners two teams get, but it's been that sort of game, hasn't it? It's been one end of the field mostly. Feels like United could play until next week and they wouldn't score. Ruben Amorim talked about a storm coming. And I wonder whether he was looking at their fixture list when he suggested that Manchester United's fans can't expect to just keep staying unbeaten because the next few are daunting. Nottingham Forest at home, all right, they've been battered by Man City today, and it's not quite stayed the way it has. Then Victoria Pilsen away before they've got Man City away, Spurs away in the League Cup, as Trossard darts his way into the box. It's going to break for Ødegaard, blocked by Mazraoui last ditch. Rashford heads it back into his own box, and then there's a foul on Ugarte. And then the fixtures beyond that: Bournemouth at home, Wolves away, Newcastle at home, and then Liverpool away. They've then got Arsenal away again in the Cup, defending their title.
That's something they have to really go for, to be perfectly honest.
Well, he won't be able to weaken his side, will he? So away at the two North London sides to try and stay in both club cup competitions. Bruno Fernandes down the middle, quarterback position. Rashford on halfway, in the centre circle. Space out on this near side for Amad Diallo. He drilled it a bit too firm. Throw in for Arsenal in their left back position. Got to be one of the easier defensive performances for Arsenal in recent weeks, recent months. And once again, Manchester United are going to leave an away game in the Premier League without a win. Just one so far this season in 6. And that was against one of the worst teams I've seen in the Premier League for a long time, Southampton. And even that, they had to have a penalty missed against them before they came alive.
Yeah, very true.
One of the things I think with Leny Yoro, you know, I mean, allegedly he turned down Real Madrid to come to Man United. And there's just this bit of me that wonders why. Even if it's about money, why are you picking United at the moment? As a genuinely top talent youngster, I can't fathom why you pick. You know, you don't know who your boss is going to be from one season to the next for a start. I find it really surprising. Is it really the place to develop? That's a nice ball by Bruno Fernandes. Finds Anthony, gets caught by Zirkzee, gets caught as it broke to Zirkzee by Marino, and Zirkzee was about to pull the trigger.
I don't know if he was going to do that or he might have seen the pass.
But it's a free kick in a good position for Man United. Look, they score now from a free kick, and there's jeopardy at least for Arsenal. But it's just a little closer than you'd have thought than Rashford or Bruno Fernandes would fancy.
Fernandes is going to hit this.
It's left of centre, but it's just about level with the point, if there was such a thing, of the D. I mean, there clearly isn't a point in a semicircle, but you know what I mean.
I certainly do. It's just everyone else out there, that's the problem.
Yeah, apologies. I don't know quite what else to say. The most extended element of the semi. I'll shut up. No, I better not shut up. That's not my job. Look, free kick. Anthony's also over it. Can't imagine it'll be him. I don't think he touched the ball. Would favour a right footer. Is it the cute one from Fernandes or is it the blaster from Rashford?
He's too straight, Rashford.
Anthony runs over it. Oh, it's a clever one off a training ground. Anthony fires towards goal. Raya with the save. It comes out to Kivior, and he knocks it back into the arms of his goalkeeper.
I mean, a well executed free kick, well worked. Anthony gets on the ball and he's gone high. He's gone high with it. He couldn't do any more than what he done, to be fair. No great power behind it. Raya's made a save above his head, put back into his arms by one of his own players. But I tell you what, it was a really good free kick.
Yeah, I love a routine. I think all fans love a routine, don't they? This time Anthony gets caught in a dangerous position, loses out. Trossard into the box on the left-hand side, checks, turns back. What you always get, whatever you think of his quality, whatever you think of the money, you get effort from him. He runs around, doesn't he? I mean, in a way, you know, I don't know if Amorim can get quality out of him that you know, some Ajax fans still say there is. If he can, you could understand him trying him as one of those wing backs, couldn't you?
I think he tried it in one game, didn't he?
Bodø/Glimt.
Yeah, and it didn't look right, didn't look comfortable.
But it's one attempt, you know. Try a few times.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Just see. I just think that, you know, is he going to do worse than Dalot, for example, on the left. He's the most left-footed footballer since Christian Vieri, isn't he? You might as well just think, let's just try him on the left wing-back role. Ball behind will not get anywhere close to Saka. Looks like the Stars are going to stay on for 90 minutes for Arsenal. Saka and Ødegaard, he's only made 2 changes the whole game. No chance to see Sterling, Jorginho, Ethan Nwaneri, who I think we're quite excited about. Havertz just caught Onana. Referee's decided that was a foul. 2.5 minutes left for play. Before I can give the voice a rest. Yeah, he did just catch him. It was probably not as painful as Onana is making out.
No, not at all.
Takes it short to Mazraoui. Any single positive you can think of, Paul, for Man United today?
Ugarte.
Yeah.
I think he's been excellent for Manchester United in there, trying to just recycling the ball, and then when he has gotten the ball, he's kept the ball. He's held people off with his body positions. I think he's played really well.
Mazraoui again, maybe to a degree.
Too easy, far too easy. For such a big man, he gets caught in possession too easy without much of a fight either. And the worst thing as well for me is playing the game with gloves on. Got gloves on. What is it? 11 degrees?
It's very rainy, Paul.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they're waterproof either. Probably sopping wet. What a ball over the top that is for Trossard. Lenny Yoro doing his best to catch up with the Belgian. Trossard onto his right foot, sells the dummy, and then De Ligt comes out to help his mate. Behind it goes. Guess what? Corner.
And what number we got now?
What a ball that is, by the way, by Kivior to Trossard. 13 as we enter the 90th minute. The referee could do us all a favour by blowing up bang on 90.
We just need 2 minutes, but it won't be because of the substitutions.
Yeah, and they're making another one now. Here's Jorginho. Started the last couple. Ødegaard getting a little break. Nowhere close to his best tonight, but he hasn't needed to be. Nobody's needed to be for Arsenal. So Jorginho on. And it's Declan Rice to take the corner. Here it goes under the keeper, and somehow it stayed out. I don't know, I mean, that's obviously a weakness they've identified, isn't it? Because they've done it over and over and over again. And it worked with the first goal. And then, arguably maybe, having tried it so many times, were United a tiny bit shocked when the second one went in that it wasn't that sort of delivery?
It's just a case of just...
That is close again,
It's a case of just protecting your goalkeeper, people trying to block him, and then there's people just attacking the ball. But it just seems that dead balls aren't defended as well as they were before, to be perfectly honest.
United looking to play out now with Anthony in the central position. Who's available? Rashford, but he's still in his own half. Just gives it to Ugarte. Bruno Fernandes, will he look for the runner beyond Partey? He does, but he can't find Dalot. Here's Trossard. Timber. Jorginho. Trossard. Give and go with Havertz, Yoro. He's done all right since he's coming on, I think, Yoro. He'll do well for this half hour, as Xerxes can't lay it off 2 yards to Rashford. Partey picks up. We're a minute and a half into 4 of stoppage time. Saliba. Merino on the right. Rashford getting back at him. Barely had a touch, Rashford, today. He's been nowhere close to getting up to speed.
Well, that's him and Xerxes. They've hardly touched it. And when they have touched it, tend to be broken down off of them. Not being a threat at all.
Comes back to Saliba. Arsenal will be hoping that Calafiori and Kivior and Gabriel are back for their next game. Which is away at Fulham. In fact, their fixture list looks all right, I have to say. Coming up in the league, they could really pick up some big momentum. Fulham away next, Monaco in the Champions League, then Everton at home before Palace at home in the League Cup, then Palace away again in the league, Ipswich at home, Brentford away, Brighton away, before Man United at home and then the home North London derby in the new year. That is a fixture list in which you could make an argument that they win every game. Over Christmas, that's always incredibly difficult, of course, but I'm just saying you could make the argument. Fernandes gives it to Rashford on the left. Outside of him goes Dalot. Bruno Fernandes. Dalot. Still, they haven't put the ball in the box. Now maybe. Fernandes across to Amad. Amad Diallo inside the area. All left-footed. Just shows a bit to Timber. He's the man that got the ball rolling in terms of goal scoring today. Gives it to Antony. Yoro. Ugarte. Up it goes to Bruno Fernandes. This is better. Offside flag is up. It's not better. 30 seconds of stoppage time left for play. Free kick. Goes by Raya, and that'll do. On a night when Liverpool have dropped points, it was imperative that Arsenal won in front of their home supporters. They've done just that. Ruben Amorim, I guess the only positive is that they weren't humiliated, because there was the potential, but they've come, they've fought, they've been undone by two corners, and Arsenal, I think it's fair to say on balance, deserve the points. They do drop a place on goal difference behind Chelsea, who won big tonight. But the important thing is that the gap to Liverpool has been cut from 9 to 7, and they've stayed above Man City, who have won once again tonight. Full time at the Emirates in its 500th game. Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0 on Premier League Live.
Here's what's happening on Sirius XM Sports.
NFL Week 13 in the books. 6 teams entering their bye week with the playoff picture beginning to take shape, and a marquee Thursday nighter ahead between NFC North rivals, the Packers and Lions from Detroit. You can join the conversation right now on your 24/7 home for football, Sirius XM NFL Radio, Channel 88, and on the all-new Sirius XM app.
Sirius XM Sports, wherever you are, your team plays here.
Football season is heating up, and Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action while watching football. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. The app is really simple to use. Pick 2 or more players across any sport, pick more or less on their projection, and you could win up to 100 times your money. Prize Picks even invented the Flex Play, so you can still cash out if one of your picks doesn't hit. Join Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app, available to play in more than 40 states, including California and Texas. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code SPORTS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code SPORTS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
This is going to be the most important winter for Atlanta United that we've ever seen.
No one covers Major League Soccer like Brian Dunseth on Counterattack.
This is the first time in which the structure behind the scenes is going to look different. It's kind of like Manchester United. The structure looks different. What does that then look like from the coaching staff? Atlanta United, for me, is going to be the most interesting offseason build that I think we've seen in a long time.
Counterattack, weekday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern on SiriusXM FC 157.
Shop Dell Technologies Cyber Monday event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Cyber Monday is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Hey, it's Dan Sinclair of Minnesota United, and you're listening to America's Soccer Station, Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Just put your seatbelts on. This is going to be a rough ride.
I know what I'm doing here, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Come on, man. Use your brain.
It doesn't necessarily follow, but that's the logic.
I apologize. I'm not going to apologize, actually.
Bigger, better, maybe, possibly.
This is WTF. Winolda Talks Football.
And a very happy Wednesday afternoon to everybody. Welcome into WTF. Jason Davis taking the day off again, and which means we're the lucky recipients of Tyler Terrence, who will be co-hosting with me, going co-pilot. Sometimes I'm going to give you the wheel. I'll let you fly this damn thing. I don't care. Yeah. Is this a train or a plane? Are we in a plane or a train? Because usually we
I feel like it's always the train. It's always the WTF
should be a train,
isn't it?
So we're always grounded. We're never flying off the handle. We're never all the way up in the air. But anyway, if you were just listening to the channel, we're spinning out of Arsenal taking care of business against Manchester United. Some other pretty interesting results along the way. We'll talk about that 3-3 Newcastle and Liverpool, and some goalkeeping that might be the source of one of our discussions, because it wasn't fantastic, was it, Emmett? Just shake your head, Emmett. You can. I'll let you. I'll let you have it. You're right. Maybe Kelleher isn't the best goalkeeper in the entire league. He certainly wasn't today. City is back on track. Villa also getting it done. So some interesting stuff to talk about on the day. You can always hit us up at 202-596-5880. That is our. That's our little text line. Since all you guys have started wimping out lately and afraid to call in to the program, those numbers have gone down. I just want to say this to our producers. The numbers have gone down, people that call in, ever since that we integrated the call text line, so you can just call in, leave a message, yell at us, and leave. I like it when you stick around. But anyway, welcome into the program. We got you for the next...
Let's be having you!
Yeah, let's be having you. Come on! I love it when she does that. You think she was inebriated when she did that, Tyler? I mean, honestly, who
is that? Who is that? By the way,
that's the owner of Norwich. What is? Somebody type it into the chat. I forgot her name, but she is fantastic.
Okay.
I think that was Norwich City.
She must have been. Or she's just a sober, passionate football owner. Either one.
No. Yeah. She's sitting up in the box, having a few champagnes, watching her team lose. I mean, yellow and green, not the best colors. I mean, let's face it, right? I mean, that's just, I don't know. What was her name, though? Is it Delia Smith? Am I saying it wrong? I might be saying it wrong. Anyway.
Delia Smith. Yep, you got it.
I think we just call her Del. We'll just call her Del for the day.
Smith.
All right, where do you want to start? Because Arsenal gets it done. They don't do it through the run of play. A couple of set pieces,
Shocker.
some crazy set pieces. All Arteta has to do is go hug the guy that's in charge of the set pieces. He's usually standing next to him on every single corner kick or set piece. They start doing this crazy stuff. They started it about 3 weeks ago when everybody goes back post, and then they bum rush the near post, and then the shortest guy on the field, Timber, gets the goal. I mean, what do we make of this? I mean, if you can't break him down and you can't get a goal and run a play, set pieces decide games.
Yeah.
We certainly saw that today.
Yeah, and at this point, I don't know who's more deserving of a new contract, whether it's Mo Salah or the set-piece guy from Arsenal, because both of them are certainly earning their keep right now. But, I mean, for Arsenal, this is this is what title contenders are made of, right? Like you find a way to grind out games, particularly against a Manchester United team who you knew was going to be up for it, at least from a physical and a running standpoint. Tactically on the day and execution-wise, it wasn't there. But Eric, like we know that this Manchester United team they've been like moment players, right? When the moment's super, super big, like the FA Cup final, like against some of the bigger teams, they typically show up. And this was a huge moment against an Arsenal team that's trying to cut into Liverpool's lead. They eventually are able to do that and cut it from 9 to 7. But, this Arsenal thing going on right now with the set pieces is insane. And, if you were to have put money on the fact that Arsenal were going to score not 1 but 2 set piece goals and Gabriel wasn't going to start today, I mean, you're an absolute genius and should be headed to the lottery tomorrow because he's been all the talk, right? I mean, like it's been him every single time. But they clearly have the set piece routines down. And not for nothing, Eric. Fantastic delivery, and that delivery is not easy to whip it in with pace at the near post like that, and to get it past the first defender, but put it in a spot where your guys can get onto it. That is not easy. It's one of the more difficult things to do. Taking a corner from that angle is to whip it in with pace and get it over the first defender, but not overcook it to the point where it's going to get past the guy who you want to hit.
I mean, we've done this in the past. I mean, there are a couple of teams that I've played for. I'm going to give a shout out to a couple of my coaches. There's Ziggy Schmidt was a big fan of this. He basically, when I was playing for him with the U20s, the U23s, the team that went to Toulon, his whole thing was, all right, listen, just if you get a corner kick on the left side, just shoot. Just shoot. And I said, what do you mean just shoot? He says, we're going to put somebody on that near post and cause some problems, and we're just going to have the big bodies, and that was the Marcelo Balboas of the world, just literally just go crash into the goalkeeper or get as close to him as possible. They almost got another one at the end. Onana gets the punch, but that thing is bouncing around in the same area. It really is. It's not like it's not like, oh, this crazy wonderful mind set piece wizard over there. He's basically just said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to ask somebody to earn their keep and to really have an unbelievable delivery, which is asking him to hit a stop sign from about 30 yards away. Yep. And essentially we're all going to crash that area. And then just hopefully something good will happen. And it keeps happening. It really does. I mean, we've watched some of the plays that they've had, and that's very astute of you to remind us that one of their bigger targets wasn't even on the field today. But it really has been, a very smartly put together idea that, all right, look, teams are going to play against us differently now. It's almost like when you watch Arsenal play. It certainly wasn't that way in the first half. 60% of the ball was with Manchester United, which is encouraging. But I think they only managed about 5 shots on goal, which is not
Eric,
terrific.
how much of their output on set pieces is maybe showing some cracks in the boat for Arsenal, right? Because they're not conjuring up goals the same way that they were last year. And I think that obviously, the skid that they hit this year without Martin Odegaard after he picked up the injury during the international break, like that, we know what that is, and we know how important Martin Odegaard is. But even with him on a day against Manchester United, I'm not taking anything away from the win, but this is becoming a reoccurring theme, and relying on set pieces so much is only going to get you so far. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe this is something that they can rely on for the remainder of the season. But at the end of the day, somebody's going to figure it out, and then the other teams are going to watch film and be like, all right, this is how we defend Arsenal on set pieces. But like, this is how they're scraping by right now, and they're still 7 points off of Liverpool.
Just as an interesting fact, maybe this is interesting to you, maybe it's not. But I play DraftKings all the time, right? And I put together teams. And, most of the time you go after the likes of someone like Erling Haaland because you think they're going to score. If you got Salah, but sometimes they have those one in-game, you got to captain one person. That's the deal. You got to, and that captain, if you wanted to win the prize today in DraftKings, you know who you captained? Raya.
Mo Salah.
No, Raya makes 3 saves, right? Gets the shutout and the win. So and then the numbers are doubled, and you had to have Timber and Saliba in your team, which they also get the shutout bonus. So that's how you win. So whether we're talking about, is this a problem to have to try and get creative to figure out how you're going to win games? But I don't think there's a lot of people on the planet who had a 2-0 victory for Arsenal, and your goal scorers are Timber and Saliba. That's wasn't on anybody's bingo card. But that's how they're getting it done.
Yeah, that's how they're getting it done, and it actually looks like we've got our first caller, Eric. You clearly rub somebody the right way or the wrong way. Let's go out to Nick in Connecticut, who's got some thoughts on some of today's games. What's going on, Nick? You're on WTF.
Hey guys, it's good to be back. I wanted to call and just sort of talk about a couple of topics. Number one, Eric, that near post whipper on the corner. I mean, that's a play that is just a staple. If you've got a defender or a forward who's 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2".
How's it going, my fellow Manchester United and SOP fans? Hope everyone is enjoying the stream this evening. This is a massive, massive game, as I said at the start of the stream, because it's Manchester United versus Arsenal. We need to get these 3 points, so hopefully we have a good second half here under the new manager, Ruben Amorim. Now, I am here to offer a service to you guys. What I do is take people's teams on EAFC 25, starting from ground zero all the way to the top, by offering a Division Rivals or FUT Champion service, or for some people, both. Now, what this means is I get the highest ranks in Division Rivals and FUT Champions. DM me on Twitter. My Twitter is @TrueKiller_. I'm sure it's in the description. You can see me in the chat. But come on, United, let's go.
Groin was pretty sore the next day, but he said, "Here's," and he would stand there right at the near post and put his hands up and say, "You got to hit it right here." And I was like, "Dude, who's this guy think I am?" I mean, like,
easy for you to say. Yeah.
But if you can do it, and they've been doing it consistently, you're right, man. Nick, it works. It works. If you can, and there's no way to defend it. That's the one crazy part about this. There is if the delivery is there, we are talking about 4 people jumping into a specific area, and we're talking. It could be 2 inches, 3 inches, 6 inches, but it's going to hit somebody's forehead, or it could hit the back of somebody's head. Either way, the defenders don't want to jump in that spot because they're one nudge away from an own goal. And everybody loves the idea of the chaos at that near post. I will say this, though, and with the national team over the years, we had guys like Alexi and Paul Caligiuri was very good also in the air. And Marcelo, those guys would hit the near post from the other side. So we wouldn't